Hey everybody! Our technical difficulties have been resolved. And by our technical difficulties, I mean Lachlan's technical difficulties.
Yes.
We got to the point where I was like, are you ready to go live, guys? And Lachlan goes, I need to restart my computer. What? Who does that?
Are you ready?
It was a very good question because it was just like, I looked at it and you're like, hey, open this program. And my computer's like, nah, I don't want to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like, nah, that program doesn't even exist. And I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't exist? It's like, you know, everything else doesn't exist either. You might need to just restart. So everything was
Terrible.
broken.
So,
And then I restarted and my computer froze on boot.
so it looks like tonight almost didn't happen because Lachlan's computer is on its way out. Before we get too into things, I'm going to get you guys to excuse us for 1 second as you peek behind the curtain because I need all of these Muppets to clap on camera for me one at a time because trying to sync their audio with the video for the YouTube version of this, youtube.com/nerdsofthewest, was a goddamn nightmare. And so I'm doing it with a clapper this time instead of having to watch Lachlan's face and try to sync up the audio as he speaks. Awful. Also, terrible to do that for Reese because all he does is laugh, and laughing is really difficult to sync the audio.
Why are you gonna call me out like this, man?
My favorite part about this is that the fact that you think that Bex is going to come through because it blocks out her, like...
Yeah.
No, I don't need
I can hear that.
No, I don't need the audio to come through Discord or stream. I need it to be captured on her computer because we're all capturing our audio independently. So Bex clapped for me. Thank you, Beck. Lachlan, clap. Nice. Reese. Nice. Chris. Nice.
It's silent.
We're done. We're clapped.
Except
Coming
for
through our-
Lachlan's.
Yeah, Lachlan synced.
Yeah,
Everyone's
Lachlan's
was
came
silent
through.
except for Lachlan's.
Why isn't your sound suppression on, Lachlan? Why do you got to torture us all with your clap?
Good question. I mean, I could turn it on if you really wanted.
No, it's fine. Thank you all for joining us. This is session 7 of RLPD. I wrote this campaign to be an 8-session campaign, but it's not going to be 8 sessions at this rate. So
Wait, hold on. Is this not session 8? Because last time was session 7.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Session 8. It's definitely not going to be an 8-session campaign.
I just opened my book and it's like episode 7, and there's notes.
I better check
What?
that I titled the YouTube upload correctly.
Don't worry about it.
Plus, I mean, I'll check what I uploaded to you last week as well.
It's got session 6 on the YouTube video.
Oh, okay. No, that's okay because I'm a week behind because, like I said, editing the most recent weeks was a damn nightmare. Red Sage, thank you for the follow. Oh, and thank you earlier for it was what was the name? What was the name? Doc Lobster 13. Thank you very much for the follow earlier as well. We couldn't say thank you straight away because we were having a bad time. Oh goodness. Okay.
And Lizard.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Let's just.
I gotta say it, man.
Thank you, Moron, for the resub, 23 months. And thank you, Lizard, 987654321123456789. That was actually way easier than I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was in sequence until I started reading it. Thank you very much for the follow. Very much appreciated. And thank you, Moron, for almost 2 years of sub.
Ooh!
Long time.
It's like Lizard 1 was taken, so I had to go for the next obvious choice.
The next one. What is that in like actual numbers? Is that like 98 quadrillion? 98 Googles?
I'm not even going to begin
987
to
Googles. I don't know
speculate what it is. Yeah.
what that is in like
Ask Microsoft Sam
text.
what it is.
I mean, it's
Just ask
at least
Google to
it's
read
at
it out.
least 13, right?
I mean,
At least
minimum
13, yeah.
minimum 13.
Oh.
Thank you everyone for
Session 8.
joining us tonight. I'm going to be a good boy this time because I usually forget. But we are Nerds of the West. If you're just joining us for the first time, we are a group of variety streamers from Perth, Western Australia, and we play board games. We play role-playing games. We play video games. We play some weird party games that don't fit into those categories. We play things like Jenga and Finska that are like backyard games. We do all sorts of things. So thank you very much for those follows. I'm sure you'll see some crazy stuff coming out in the near future. And if you want to catch up on any of the stuff we've done in the past, youtube.com/nerdsofthewest. We've got many hours of all sorts of fun content there. So if you like this kind of thing, you'll like that kind of thing. So go and check that out after the stream. So it's been a couple of weeks. We missed last week because I had a round 2 electric boogaloo of illness. So I apologise for that. I had COVID the week before last, or 3 weeks ago. So that knocked me out for a week. It wasn't that bad, but it was bad enough that I didn't want to be talking for 3 or 4 hours. Then that went away. We streamed the following week. And then the next week, I got some throat infection. And I spoke to the doctor and they were like, oh yeah, it's just because your immune system's been beat up from COVID. So the next thing came along and just waltzed in the front door. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, I've got a sorer throat now than I did with COVID.
It's like your house got robbed and some other guys were walking past while your house was in the process of being robbed.
Before you had a chance
They
to
were
fix the
You know
locks.
what? I will, thank you.
And then she finished by saying, don't be surprised if you get a third sickness. So I was like, thanks for the optimism, Doc. So if we miss next week, you know why.
Let's go, baby!
So everyone,
Third illness.
Oh god.
thoughts and prayers for Kye's health.
I'm still waiting for the first one.
I mean, look, at this point, we might as well just switch to fortnightly, right? Because that's how often games
It is how it's been playing out,
That's where D&D campaigns go to die, though.
whether we like it or not.
Need that
Fortnightly.
commitment, bro.
I was
fortnightly
I got-
easier.
I got
Monthly's
COVID
easier.
last week, right? So Kai got it, then I got it, and I was like, we're gonna miss D&D this week. But I was like, I actually feel pretty good. We should still be able to play D&D. And then Kai's like, I don't think I can play it. It's pretty bad.
Okay.
Good old
And I went to-
20 pack a day Kai.
And
Me and my cartons of Marlboro cigarettes. Not sponsored.
delicious.
Oh, my voice is a bit raspy today, mate. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel.
Yeah. So we're back. We're all in good health now. How have you guys been the last couple of weeks since we last convened for some D&D?
Pretty good.
I screwed over Reese this week by going to Melbourne for 36 hours.
You did, bitch.
Dude, I didn't know that you were going until you sent a snap from the airport, and I was like, Beck's going somewhere? We have D&D on Friday. Oh shit!
Yeah, so the reason
She didn't say anything.
The reason why it only affected Tuesday and Wednesday is because I was only gone Tuesday and Wednesday. I arrived back in Perth at 10:30 Wednesday night, back at work for 8:45.
Jeez.
Oh my
Yippee.
god.
That's fucking horrible.
Yep.
But was it a nice 36 hours?
It was all right. I didn't really get to explore Melbourne much. The furthest I got was the Crown Hotel, where we got burgers at their version of the Merrywell Burger Bar.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good burger, I will say that. But it
know-
was literally 15 minutes from my hotel, and it was just on the other side of the convention center.
I know
So-
exactly where that is because we'll be at
Melbourne
that
speed
convention
run.
center for PAX.
Yes, we will. And so you
Melbourne
know what I
speed
know?
run.
I know that there is a Munich Brauhaus nearby.
Oh, so good.
I'm
So good.
very familiar with the Munich Brauhaus. That's probably where I'm going to suggest we meet people for drinks.
I'm jealous you guys are going to Melbourne. I love it. Beck went for 36 hours and she's like, I had a great time. It's like, well, I mean, you
I
went in
never
Perth,
said
so...
that. I did it for work, alright?
Yeah.
I had an okay time. I had fun with people that I haven't had fun with before, which was a great experience, but I still did it for work, alright?
But Beck, you got to escape the the massive hellhole that is WA.
Yeah, I actually
Yes.
completely missed out on the massive storm.
Yeah, what was
Oh,
it
yeah.
like leaving the
That's
prison
cool.
state?
It was faster than you would anticipate.
To be honest,
Well,
you were,
Just when I was out, they brought me back in.
when you sent me that snap
Yeah.
of you flying out of the airport, I was like, I'm just going to check the wind speeds at Perth Airport real quick. And Beck might die today.
And you know what?
Beck's-
That same afternoon, the airport lost power.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Everyone got kicked
Like
out.
2 hours after
So
Beck left.
Beck's plane's just doing this.
Yeah.
Do they just turn off the engines and coast, right? Like a kite.
So leaving Perth, it was like being on a boogie board and a massive wave just pushing you out. Like, we managed to get to Melbourne in like half an hour less time because of the winds coming off of
Amazing.
the WA side.
Brilliant.
Going back, it added an hour to the travel time because of the winds coming in off the WA side.
Oh, rough.
I'm pretty keen to travel later this year, since it'll be the first time I've been on a plane in like 3 years. But that'll be too merry old night.
I'm really hoping that the airport baggage situation is resolved by the time that we get to Heathrow. Because I do not want to get there and be like, guess what? Your baggage is gone. That's it. Don't even worry about it. Like, you'll see it in 3 months' time.
Yeah.
I've got a family member, my dad, flying out to Canada at the end of this month. I 2 weeks ago bought more AirTags from the Apple website because they are the most accurate thing to track luggage at the time, at this point in time, because they use the iPhone Find My network to locate the item. So what it means is, if and when my dad loses his luggage in his trip from Perth
2 years.
to Toronto.
Thank
you.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, but
Oh my
continue.
god! I completely missed that. Sorry. Right, so if and when this luggage gets lost, it means I can hop on my phone and figure out where the fuck in the world this fucking bag is.
The future is now.
I feel like everyone loses their bags once and then realize, I'm going to put 2 days worth of clothes in my carry-on, because I went to New Zealand and it was my first international trip, and we got there and Qantas were like, we don't have your bags, man. They're still in Sydney.
They're gone.
You know, good luck, basically. We'll probably have them like tomorrow, maybe. And I was like, cool. Are you gonna send them to my hotel? And they were like, oh yeah, I guess we can do that. What hotel are you staying at? I'm like, what, did you expect me to come back to the airport? What the hell?
Hey chief, you got my bags yet? Nah.
So then we spent the first night in New Zealand, in Queenstown. We were really excited to see some of like the amazing restaurants that Queenstown has, because they got some amazing food over there. But we were both in like our stinky travel clothes. And we were like, we don't want to go to a restaurant, man. So we ordered Domino's to the hotel. First night in New Zealand. It was pretty sad. So since then, we've been like 2 days worth of clothes in the carry-on. Got to do it just in case.
Good idea, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, at that point, I would have just gone and bought clothes. Like,
yeah, but
just gone and bought clothes.
the problem was, like, a lot of what was in the bags was, like, thermals and stuff, which were expensive enough here. But in Queenstown, thermals were so expensive because it was specifically set up to catch tourists who didn't realize it was going to be, like, -5.
Yeah, how predatory.
Like, they rocked up and you go, oh, fuck, it's really cold. I better buy some thermals. Oh, sure, you got a couple of $100 because...
Yeah. It's like buying food at the airport. It's always like $20 more expensive than it needs to be, and it's because where else are you gonna go, bitch?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Capitalism. Are we ready? Ready to rumble?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I
I'm
kind of
ready.
feel like I
Rumble.
cut off you guys while you were giving us
Ready as
your
I'll
catch
ever
up
be.
after Beck mentioned airplanes. I was like, airplanes?
Everyone got like hyper fixated on airplanes. Like, oh, what are those?
Travel.
It's been a while.
Big
Yeah,
tubes
true.
that get flung through the air using explosions. It's amazing.
yeah,
And it's totally safe. Trust us.
Who thought this was a smart idea to be inside of a cylinder
What's funny is
high above the ground?
since I
Propelled
last
by
flew, I have listened to like several hundred episodes of a podcast exclusively about plane crashes. So now I'm going to be on the plane for the first time in like 3 years and be like, yes, I can see the flaps deploying here. I sure hope that flaps isn't loose because of the elevators and the lift and aerodynamics.
Yeah.
The thing is, Kai,
And be a
I know
wonderful
we're
expert.
about to start, but we're on a tangent. You're not going to be the most nervous person on that flight. Lachlan is, because he'll be sitting next to Lachlan, and you'll be like, that flap shouldn't be flapping like that, and Lachlan's going to be like, fuck.
You see that little, you see that little
Or even-
bolt
or
there?
even
that,
the-
that bolt
even the
crashed a whole
idea-
plane once.
Even the idea that Lachlan will be sitting next to you and you'll know what's normal, but now he doesn't. So he just has to assume that everything is wrong, and you will.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what? It'll be fine. I'll be fine. Don't stress. I just won't even look at Kye. I'll just be like... straight to sleep.
I'm going to share an earbud with you while I listen to an episode of the podcast on the plane.
Oh my god.
You'd be like, hey man, check
can
out
I
this
get another
podcast.
seat?
This man's
I've
trying
been listening to this podcast for 3 years. Hey, do you want to listen to an episode? Oh yeah, sounds good. What in the damn hell are you giving to me?
I've already planned to save like 2 or 3 episodes for the flight because I'm like, I gotta do it. I gotta
Yeah.
like, I gotta face that.
Paranoia rising.
Kye just turns to Lachlan and he goes, "There's a gremlin on the side of the bus."
There's a gremlin on the plane.
There's a gremlin on the bus!
Oh, that's a hydrate. Thank you, moron. It's not exactly hydration, but it is the best energy drink unless someone wants to pay me to say differently.
What is it?
V. Like, how did you even have to guess?
Also, Lord Basil, thank you for the 50 biddies.
Yes, thank you. Sorry,
Thanks.
I had to guess because I don't often drink V, although I will say I have a 3-pack. No, I say 3-pack. It used to be a 4-pack until I drank one.
Yep.
Of their
Yeah.
citrus lemonade refreshers that they've just come out with. And it's basically no sugar V, but tastes like lemonade.
Oh.
And it is okay.
The service
I like
station knows, so.
no sugars don't really do it for me. Like,
No.
I'm just gonna have water instead of a no sugar, or give me full strength. Like, I don't want to know there's no sugar.
I don't know, man.
shit.
The no
Like,
sugar monster, the like Kyle energy drink, is like actually pretty good.
So the reason, okay, now you guys have popped me off. Here we go. Why
We will
the-
play D&D eventually, guys. I promise.
The reason why the Monster no sugar one works really well is because they didn't try and make it the flavor of Monster with no sugar. They were like,
Yes.
cool, let's just make a different flavor that works with the no sugar part of this. And they
100%.
did that, and they did it very well.
I mean, I think it's okay, but it's still nowhere near as good as a sugar variant.
I will only drink the full sugar import Monsters. Otherwise, I just drink the sugar-free ones. Although they did for a while have a ginger beer flavored
The
one.
full
and
sugar
I
import
loved
one
that.
is like from the US, so it's full corn syrup.
No, it's European and it has a resealable lid. So it's like an extra 100 milliliters.
Oh
and
yeah,
you
with the
can-
plastic twisty.
Yeah.
That's a good cap. I like that cap.
Well, my European energy drink comes in a glass bottle.
Oh.
Oh.
Imagine if like
What
Voss
is it?
did an energy drink.
Yeah.
Oh
My god.
Dude,
Those the boss spelt with a Z.
Dude, those Voss waters, right? Like $7 or whatever it is for a bottle of water is ridiculous. But you can reuse that glass bottle. I used a Voss water bottle as my water bottle for like a year, and then I dropped it and smashed it. But then I bought another one for like $7. It was pretty great, actually, when I wasn't like traveling so much. Now I've got to stand still one so I don't drop it and smash it.
Yeah.
But honestly, as long as you
fair
don't
enough.
just toss the bottle after you drank the fancy water.
Yeah. We had we
What's
got
that?
like some lemon flavored ones, and it was awful. It was fucking awful. It was like lemon flavored Voss water, and it was just bad. And I think it was even like carbonated, I think. But whatever it was just a terrible flavoring. We like
Okay.
washed the bottles out and just could not get rid of that taste of that.
That's awful.
And then eventually
Yeah.
we got around to it, and we ended up using those bottles, and they were like, it was one of the small ones and not the big ones, and so they became like the perfect refill, and we had like 4 of them, and so you'd just be like, oh, I need a glass of water, like take the bottle out, and it was like a perfect cup of water, and then you'd fill it up and put it back in, and then you'd just like rotate, and they were actually pretty solid.
Yeah, that's good. Now I
Wish I
live
could
my
have water
childhood
in my
dream of
fridge
having
that
a
did that.
water dispenser in the fridge. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just-
water dispenser in the fridge is the MVP.
yeah,
Kai just walks past his fridge, doesn't even put a glass in there, just taps it and the water comes out. He's like, haha.
Like suckles it like a baby animal.
just stick my head in the water dispenser.
Ah! Ah!
How did you know?
This
Alright,
is what I
guys.
dreamt when I was a little boy!
We're gonna jump over to the table. It's time to play some gosh darn D
It
and
is
D.
time. I'm keen.
Here we are.
Wait,
For
We're
anyone
we came here to
wondering-
play D&D.
We're here to just talk smack for 3 hours.
Yeah, this is the Nerds of the West podcast in the D&D channel.
Yeah.
What I should do is I should cut all the like beginning, middle, and ends out and just create a whole other podcast that is like just those off like totally random tangents tacked together with no connection, no explanation for why we go from the topic of Voss water at the start and then there's a hard cut to talking about something completely different. No explanation. Don't gotta explain anything. Just
Make a good podcast.
Mate,
Yeah.
you know what? It would then, I think, be on par to compete with the Joe Rogan podcast.
and we'll title it "Listen or Don't." Like I don't give a fuck.
We don't do this for the views.
Do it for the art, the artistic merit.
Oh,
I
God.
am currently split screening my stuff at the moment, so I have the map open on my iPad because that's where I could get Roll20. I'm actually going to have my character sheet open on my computer just so that I have something I can reference. It just means that I'll just be picking something to roll.
It's okay.
'Cause,
I trust you.
That's fine.
it's fine. It's just because I can't make it smaller, so I can't see the map when my character sheet is open.
I also am going to say before we start, so we're all on the same page because I don't think we actually like finalized where we were at with it before. And I was listening to the audio from one we did a few weeks back regarding non-lethal damage because I have made a judgment because I don't like the way 5th Ed deals with non-lethal damage. I think it's dumb and stupid and I don't like it. But I also don't want to turn it into Pathfinder. So I'm going to use
Middle
like
ground.
I'm going to do a middle ground where you have to declare you want to do non-lethal damage before you roll. You can't decide after you've rolled. And if you're doing non-lethal damage with a weapon that's not designed for it, i.e. a sword, you're going to have disadvantage.
Okay.
I am
Yeah,
God
fair
and I have
enough.
spoken. If you're using something like your billy club that's meant to do non-lethal damage, cool, no problem.
I'm just
But-
going to write it down. So declare non-lethal before attack.
Yeah. So I know
that's
that that's not
that's
rules as written.
Pathfinder's
I'm
rule,
sorry, D&D purists out there, but the rules are just
Use-
guidelines, not like actual rules.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'd say if you're the DM, you're allowed to absolutely
No.
make...
I mean, the way I see it, right, if I've got a sword and I'm trying to not kill you with it, it means I have to use like the pommel or the flat or use it in a way that it's not designed to be used. And that's going to be more difficult. And, you know, you can't make that decision after you've swung with the blade to actually hit him with the pommel. I don't like it. I think it's...
Yeah, so what Pathfinding ruling is that you have to declare it before you do it.
And it's negative
whereas-
4.
Yeah.
And I believe it does reduce damage. But I might be wrong about that bit.
Yeah. I thought it just did non-lethal damage, which is a separate pool.
Yeah, I mean, it is a separate pool.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, just in case anyone is,
Bonk rules.
is listening, and next time we get into combat says that's not how non-lethal works, we know that after I stuffed it up the first time, but now that's how we're going to play it going forward.
That's it.
The rules seem fair, so I'm okay with it.
Yep, no one's going to quit the campaign over it.
No,
Well,
you'll
I'll
do
see you
Ruined
guys
D&D.
later. Exit call.
Sorry, guys. I think
Hey,
I just
Reese's
need to
screen's
restart my
frozen
computer.
for some reason? I don't know. I think we've lost him.
Yeah, we've
Hey
lost
there.
him. He's not coming back again.
Yeah. I have tech issues. That's
That's what it is. All right, guys, I'm going to start the timer. For those of you who aren't aware, I'm going to put on a timer for about an hour, and that's going to be focused gameplay time, so we won't be talking to you guys verbally in chat, but keep an eye out down there because most of us will be typing away, responding to you when we can between the action, but it just keeps us on track and keeps us from getting lost on tangents for too long and gives you guys a more consistent viewing experience. It's all about the experience here at Nerds of the West.
it's all about you.
Yoo! So I'm going to kickstart that and we will be back with you, chat. Before you know it, please enjoy. Do you guys remember what happened last session?
Yep.
Well,
Yep,
in
okay,
that
good, let's
session
carry on.
7,
Yeah, of course I do. I'm just distracted.
Oh,
That's okay.
Yes.
Klaus, you start.
yes. Now my first note is Gabriel grew up on a farm outside Priscilla. His dirty gun. That's it.
That's all we
That's
need.
your note.
Actually, I'd like to
That's-
hear a recap from Hadric since he really enjoyed the character that I introduced last session.
Oh, no, I don't want to. I'll get angry again. I'll get so, fucking
What
Gerald,
character?
man.
The
The tower guard.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gerald, I think his name was?
Yeah, Gerald. I'll get, alright.
What's
so
he called? Just the clericist or the paperwork guy.
Look,
Yeah.
there's a bit that happened before that, so I'll take over at Gerald. You guys
Okay.
do the rest.
All right, I'll start. So, we started out in the watch house. We brought all the dead people back in. They're like, hey guys, probably don't do that. We were like, cool, we'll keep note of it for next time. We are obviously very suspicious of Gabriel because he is Fusillan.
someone's on my side.
What? No, I don't know where you got that from.
We also have a few leads to check out. So, first things first, we know that a Fusillan escaped from prison. And we know that Darkhearth is clearly involved with this somehow. So we decide to investigate the Fusillan escaping prison lead first and foremost. We did interview one of the gnomes that had attacked us the session before. However, we didn't get much information from them other than they were just there to help Pauline, I think his name was,
Yes.
Paulini, to try and kill or capture Tim. So that's what we knew in that sense. If anyone else wants to pick up.
Yeah, so you guys
Yep,
went
cool.
to the tower, trying to find out whether all 4 of the prisoners made it to the tower and then 1 escaped, or if only 3 arrived at the tower.
Yes.
And then we met the worst possible
Watch Commander.
fucking person.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bookkeeper.
fucking Gerald. Yep, so turns out Gerald's just bad at his job. And classic office boomer. And just mixed up a 3 and a 4 and thought that only 3 prisoners were to get in.
He actually smudged the 3, smudged the 4, and so he just assumed it was a 3.
Yeah. So
Well, you
yeah,
guys
so
couldn't be sure. The way that the paperwork was ill-kept and smudged and all sorts, where the number of prisoners was, you couldn't tell if it was a 3 or a 4. It had been smudged really badly. And so you weren't actually sure which number it was originally.
Yeah, and fucking Gerald didn't know either. The piece of shit. Hold on. How do you get to that position? He failed upwards, man. How is that possible in our society? Anyway. So then we decided before I started having a moment at Gerald, that we would actually go up and interview the prisoners that were originally brought in. Who would like to take over?
I will, because I spoke to the prisoners.
Ah, yes. In Fusillan.
I did. Dun, dun, dun.
Sus.
Dirty gun.
So, Gabrielle had an interaction with the 3 prisoners that were inside of their cell, each of which were Fusillan and didn't speak the common, I guess, English equivalent. Rather, they spoke only Fusillan, and I can speak that, so I did. Asked them about whether or not they had a 4th, and whether that 4th escaped, and they basically weren't relenting any information. Made mention of something to do with a fleet, which Gabrielle has relayed to the rest of the team, but has no idea what it sort of refers to or means. And that was only having heard one of them mutter it under their breath and not necessarily during the conversation. So that was quite fruitless. So after that we left the watch house, and Hadrig gave a parting sort of sentence or two to good old Gerald.
look, I just left him with some kind regards, man. And
And some unsolicited advice.
there is no way that I was projecting.
No, yeah,
and that
it's
he
certainly-
did not remind me of someone that I have worked with before in any sort of capacity.
What we did, I think, miss, unless I was zoned out or typing when we missed it, was before you guys went to the tower, you actually interrogated one of the gnomes that survived your fight the day before.
I did briefly mention it, just not
Yeah,
well.
Beck.
Oh,
No, that's all right. Sorry, I was replying in chat, so I probably just missed that when you mentioned it.
Yeah.
I mean, we interrogated the gnome. They had a symbol for Gelfdarkar.
Gelfdarkar.
But with the golden anvil, which led us on a tangent to go find out what religious sect was involved in this. But
Yep.
more so the fact that there was a gnome working with a Facilian human, which didn't make any sense, and that didn't really tie in too well.
Yeah, so I think
There
the
was a
main
bit
thing you
more
got
going
out
on.
of that interrogation was that it's not the Church of Gelfdarkar itself that has been operating sort of in this conspiracy, whatever you want to call it, but a sort of subset group called Darkheart's Hammer is who the gnome you interrogated belongs to.
We left the tower, and then we were walking away, and we had a little bit of a group crisis where
Crisis of
Klaus
faith.
sort of questioned Gabriel's background and intent, feeling that Gabriel wasn't telling the exact truth about what he had spoken to the Facilians about. Being that Gabriel's the only one that can speak Facilian, Klaus kind of didn't feel like Gabriel was telling us the whole story. And this hunch then boiled over, and allegations and whatnot broke out, and the group kind of had a bit of a pointing fingers, as they say, where it was the old Spider-Man meme.
The old Mexican standoff.
The old Mexican standoff. But the group resolved their issues. They put their hands in, and we came out on the other side.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna retcon that a smidge, because Rosie pulled you guys kicking and screaming into a resolution.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
The
and
most
I had
pragmatic
a very,
member of the team.
I had a very good monologue.
and now we're all the bestest friends that anyone could have, right? That's
Yep.
We are
Exactly.
all best friends
And Gabriel
that anyone
promised
could
that
ever
he
have.
would definitely not backstab us.
And that's how you
That
can
was-
trust
Yes.
that someone's going to not backstab you.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we pinky swore, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you can't.
binding. Like, I
Yeah,
can't do it now.
He took a blood oath, and so if he does break it, then he dies immediately.
We put all of our hands in and we went, what'd we say?
Ducks fly together.
Yeah, quack, quack, quack.
All the what?
Hadrian's been gunning for the group 5 for so long, and he finally
Yeah, and he
was a
finally got
beautiful
it.
moment. So we pick
Character
up,
progression.
just after this team bonding moment, you guys feel like a unified squad more than you have so far. It's beautiful. It's lovely.
Especially with the impending doom of a Facilian fleet coming.
But there's work to be done. Yes, exactly. The clock is ticking, and there is a crazy red string corkboard conspiracy to unravel. So if I'm not mistaken, your next port of call was going to be the Church of Gelfdarkar, unless you guys wanted to do something in between.
Nope.
Now, we've had our group spat. I think we should head straight to the church and suss out what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yep. We were trying to decide on who was going to go in and how we were going to approach the situation, because
Yes.
Gelfdarkar is predominantly a gnome god.
Yeah.
And so we were discussing whether or not it would be value of sending a Facilian in, because, or Gabriel in, so then he, be it a human, could sway those that are working with the Facilians to finding out more information, as well as sending in Rosie, because she is a gnome, and that she would have a more common place for being there. Whereas Klaus and Hadrig would just stand out like sore thumbs. Yes, Gabriel would also stand out like a sore thumb because he's a human, But the sect of Gelth Darkhearth's Hammer are really only parlaying or partnering up with the Facilans because of the common cause to overthrow Rolands Land.
Yeah, that's more or less a decent summary. As far as I've recalled, you guys were deciding on whether or not to send Gabriel or Rosie, or both. And I'm not sure where you guys landed on that. Rosie, you're familiar, at least passingly, with the church. Not necessarily somewhere you frequented, but it's common enough within, gnome society that you're aware of where it is and how it, the general rule of thumb there. You know that a human would definitely stick out, and probably require some explanation, whereas a gnome would go by fairly unremarkably, but not being a regular of the church, that's probably all that would really come to mind about.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, I've got a plan. Rosie, if you go in there and you go looking for the Gelth or Darkhearth's Hammer, we have some of the amulets. We could send you in with an amulet saying that another gnome has given you this, and if you are seeking to find the hammer, that they should be looking here, and you are trying to find someone that can guide you towards that sect. So you could use that as a means of coming in as an undercover ploy, as if another gnome has given you the amulet and told you to come to the church looking for the others.
Plus, we know the name, at least, of a gnome that is a part of this particular sect, in that Michelle was the gnome that we took back to the watch house. So it's very easy for me to walk in, hopefully, and say, I'm friends with Michelle, and I'm here to join the Hammer.
Just a small clarification before we do espionage and spy missions. Are you guys still in uniform, or did you not wear your uniforms this morning?
I think we're very much in uniform.
Yeah,
very
I
much in
am
uniform.
well aware that I'm in uniform, and I was going to take it off.
Just so I don't get accused of
On the
written
whole,
information
you
when you walk in the front door dressed as a cop, and they go, "Oh no, a cop!"
Are you a cop? You have to tell me if you're a cop.
Hey, I want to buy some drugs. Are you a cop? No. You're wearing a cop's uniform? Oh, shit.
Oh, damn it.
It's Halloween!
Would a real cop wear a cop uniform to buy drugs? No. Clearly, I'm not a cop.
Would cops suspect other cops selling drugs? Who's to say?
No one will know.
Alright, so what's the plan, guys? Fill me in.
So, Klaus, I think you're right. I think I need to head into the temple. Oh my god, I just saw the message I got sent. I will head into the temple on my own. I can take one of the amulets with me. I will pose under the guise that Michelle, the gnome that we have captured, has sent me as a new sort of initiate to the order. Considering how much I dislike humans and the population of Rolands Landing, I think I could probably muster up just a little bit of vitriol to really send it home. And
That would be a real struggle for Rosie. Rustle up some vitriol.
Yep.
And then we'll get some info, because what we need to do is we need to figure out why they killed Marion. And we need to figure out what they're doing with the weapon. And we need to figure out who's doing what with the weapon and why they're doing what with the weapon. Right?
That
Look,
sounds about right.
We just
Pretty
need to
much.
make
Handy
sure
with
the
a
weapon
weapon.
doesn't...
Well, I mean, that and yeah, I guess we need to find out what the sect is planning, why they're working with the Facilans, and what the Facilans' plans are.
That would be useful, yeah.
Who,
but also
what,
the weapon.
where, when, and why the weapon.
The weapon.
So I imagine you guys are heading back to the watch house first for a change of clothes for Rosie, at least.
Why don't we all get out of uniform? Because, I mean, if we're all going to be headed to that district, not necessarily into the church. We don't want to be caught by a bunch of ruffians and get bashed up just because, we're watch members.
It's the fuzz. Get them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, last time we went to that neck of town, we were jumped by Pauline and his, associates.
That is true.
Yeah, and we weren't even wearing uniforms when that happened.
True.
So you guys head back to the watch house. It's much as you left it. Corporal Arnold is packing up the cleaning supplies that were being used to scrub the blood up off the floorboards. It looks mostly clean. It's not perfect, but I'm sure that the stain will fade over time and no one will know where it came from. You'll be fine. Back so soon? How did it go at the tower? Did you find what you needed?
Not exactly, Corporal. We've still got a fair bit of investigating to do, but we're confident that we're on the trail.
Right, good. Any particular leads to check out next?
Rosie, would you like to explain?
I was thinking in my head and not out loud. We need to de-uniform, and then we're gonna go check out the Temple of Gelf Darkhearth, because we think some of our attackers may have come from there. So we're going to investigate and see if we can't get some information.
Oh, well, be careful. I've heard some stories about that place.
Only good, I can hope.
Oh well, apparently Father Kieran was is a nice enough pastor. I can't say I've met him myself, but a nice, young, enthusiastic man about the church. Not really my place of worship, as you know. But do be careful, especially Klaus, Hadrian, Gabriel. I'm not sure how well you'll fit in that neck of the woods, but please do be careful.
Yes, that was a concern of ours, but hopefully we can take care of things ourselves, and perhaps it's worth letting the sergeant know as well where we are, just in case we don't come back.
Oh, of course, when he arrives, he's having a bit of a sleep this morning. I expect he was here all night, so I'll let him know when he's in for sure.
Thank you very
If
much.
we don't hear from you before the end of the day, we'll come kick some doors in, I suppose.
Greatly appreciated. Thank you.
What do you mean if we don't come back? Where are we going? Are we going on a trip? What's...
We're going on a
Oh,
spiritual
Hadrian.
adventure to find ourselves.
If you guys convert.
Yeah, true.
So you guys head back into the locker room and change back into your civvies before leaving. Corporal Arnold gives you a bit of a wave as you leave. She looks a little bit nervous, but she looks nervous pretty regularly.
And Rosie, you grab one of the amulets with the hammer version.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
The gold ones, too.
Yep. So you take that from the evidence locker where they have
Yes.
been pretty haphazardly stored.
Yes. Yes. I think that's all this.
Cool. And what are we to do, Hadrian, Gabriel? Are we gonna stand outside and wait across the road and just?
Well,
Run
yeah, we ought to
past
be
us?
nearby just in case Rosie gets into a spot of trouble. I don't think she will, but
Yeah, we can't just be like, well, off you go. We should...
We'll be at the pub.
yeah. Let us know how it goes. We should probably...
This guard business is easy.
yeah.
We should probably hang out and try and do something. Okay?
Oh yeah, what is that something?
Well, look, man, I'm the muscles. What do you want from me? I just...
So we'll wait across the street and we'll keep our distance. Should we be in civilian clothing as well,
Yes.
as opposed to be hanging outside in our guard uniform?
It would
Yeah,
attract less...
Yeah, let's dress down.
what's the
and-
word? I don't... Yeah, just... Get out of your clothes.
Inconspicuous.
Thank you.
There you go.
I'm trying to sort out the spells. Sorry.
Are there
Look,
any?
Hadrian strikes me as the
leads-
heart of this operation, not the brains.
Are there any other leads that we might be able to tie up from just passing conversation or hearsay, gossip? I don't think so.
Nah. I mean,
All right. Well,
yeah.
we'll let Rosie go, and we'll just hang outside as a contingency.
I'm trying to think of how I would possibly signal you guys if I need a hand.
Do you have any magic spells?
No, I don't.
What about you, Hadrig or Klaus? Do you have any magic?
Nothing for sending or.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
communication,
got nothing.
I do have dark vision.
Actually, the,
Amazing! You should say that. I too have dark vision.
All right, that got me. That
Next
was
person who
pretty
says they have dark vision goes
according,
blind.
according to my,
Got
I
him.
can't help you guys anymore. You're on your own.
Go ahead.
Go on.
I was just gonna say, according to my own knowledge of my history and my race, apparently I'm a natural illusionist, and I know the minor illusion cantrip.
Sure.
I can see if that may be useful.
Minor illusion. What kind of illusions can you conjure with such a trick?
Gabriel,
there's
when you're
like-
listening, she can do minor ones.
As in, you can conjure
Nothing
like
major,
a minor with
you know?
a pickaxe and a lantern.
I believe it's a small either visual or audio illusion. I don't think you can do both.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as soon as we approach the church, I'm sure it'll have some sort of stained glass windows or some other kind of thing. Maybe you could conjure a trick at the window, and we'll keep an eye on the window just in case something moves or
Yeah.
flashes or something.
Range 30 feet, duration 1 minute. Create a sound or image of an object within range that lasts for the duration. Image illusion also ends if you dismiss it as an action or cast this spell again. If you create a sound, its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. If it's image, no larger than a 5-foot cube. Image can't create sound, light, spell, or smell, or any other sensory effect. So minor illusions, not major ones.
Well,
Okay.
pick a visage and just, I don't know, like a bird, and just conjure a bird at the window if you need help.
I could definitely give it a go. Because it requires my intelligence in order to cast, and I don't think
Oh, no.
Oh no, I have a +4 to intelligence. Never mind, we'll be fine.
Oh, okay, sweet. That's a plan then. We'll keep an eye just in case you're in trouble, and we'll let you do most of the work.
So it's within 30 feet, so I should just try and remain 30 feet near a window at all times, right?
Yeah, or the doorway or
As soon as you walk in, come join me in the basement.
down this trap
Damn
door,
it.
if you will.
Can you please stay at least 30 feet away from windows? Thank you.
We much appreciate it.
You get
here at
there. There are no
Dark
windows. Rosie leads
Is
the way.
there carpet in here?
Rosie, you're again familiar with the location of the Church of Gelf Darkhearth. It's in the Burrows, the area of the city where you live, and have spent a lot of time in your tumultuous history. A couple blocks before reaching the church, you let the guys know so they can probably, I'm assuming, what do you guys want to do when you get close to the church, I suppose?
I'm going to pull my hood up and just kind of loiter under a tree or something, or a, you know.
Very
This
near
is
a
the slums,
dustbin.
Gabriel. There are no trees. I'm sorry to.
Okay. The nearest thing that resembles a bench or a sitting area or just a patch of grass.
What sort of building is opposite the church?
Being in the Burrows, it's a lot of very sort of shambles, sort of almost favela style houses, just built one on top of the other, very haphazard. Some of the structures you wouldn't even recognize as houses if you didn't see people coming and going. So there's a lot of little nooks, crannies, alleyways, sort of dark alcoves where you could probably tuck away. But this area of the city does have a higher than average gnome population, so anyone taller than that is going to stand out to some extent. But being the poor quarter of the city, there are also less fortunate, humans and other races as well. So it's not exclusively gnomes. But you get the vibe that you will, just by dint of being taller, stand out a little more than the average.
Right.
All
I mean,
right.
Yeah. If Rosie wants to head off, we can just sort of like chill out in a group together, I guess.
Yeah.
We can pretend we're friends.
Yep.
Novel concept.
Pretend.
Pretend we're friends outside. We could just start playing marbles in the street.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I've got a deck of cards in my possession. We can just play cards. Gamble.
In the street.
Nice. Start throwing dice in the alley.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know
we
what?
could-
It fine.
We could always attract, that kind of crowd and get some gossip.
Right. So you guys are trying to
Never know.
stick together, the three of you, while Rosie
Yeah.
sort of goes
Yeah.
off ahead? Sure. As you guys sort of peel off into an alleyway that's not directly opposite the church, but with a view of most of the building, so that you're not too obvious. You guys try to throw your hoods up, try to look a little bit more shabby than you are, as you sort of settle in. I'm going to get everyone to give me...
Initiative.
probably not. Not about stealth. Maybe give me deception checks. It's not so much as you're trying to hide as disguise who you are.
18
and-
for Dunshot.
8 for Hadric. Very
Oh,
very
boy.
suitable for Hadric.
9 full plus.
So, Gabriel, this isn't the first time you've lived less cleanly. You were you grew up on a farm and things like that. So you're more than comfortable just grabbing a couple of handfuls of sort of grime off the ground. You throw it on your cloak a little bit, ruffle things up so that you look a little bit more shabby. And before long, you look like any other poor sod that spends a lot of time in this part of the city. Hadric, you were told to bath twice a day, no less. And it's a little sort of galling for you to consider dirtying yourself up with especially this like street sludge that is goodness knows what.
Yum yum.
So you just throw your cloak up, kind of pull one sleeve up, but leave the other one down, and sort of huddle in a little bit. Kind of hard to tell from your perspective, but you don't know if you quite fit in. You certainly don't feel like you're fitting in. And Klaus, similarly, you
One
were
of the cool kids.
born and raised in a far nicer part of the city. And again, don't really feel like getting down and dirty. But you scruff your hair up a little bit, try to hide your nicer looking equipment under a cloak, and do your best to try and fit in with Gabriel's good example. So you guys sit down in the alley, start shooting some dice, while trying to keep an eye on the church itself. Rosie, you keep walking straight ahead without casting a glance at the rest of your group as they peel off to avoid arousing any suspicion that you're together, and quickly find yourself in front of the Church of Gelf Darkhearth, the only official church in the city that you know of. It's a large, fairly squat stone building with a thick, ugly, squat tower sticking out one side of it, not like the bell towers on the more fancy churches of the city. There's several gnomes coming and going, milling about. Looks like a fairly popular building.
All right. I leave my hood down. I don't feel like I need to hide my identity. I do make sure I have the amulet kind of on hand, so I just sort of pat my pockets down, just make sure I've got it.
Sure, so you're not wearing it, you're just keeping it in your pocket?
For now, I'm just keeping it in my pocket, and it's just because this is a sect of the Gelf Darkhearth worshippers, not necessarily always supported by everybody.
Yeah.
I head inside.
Cool. As you head inside, I'm going to deafen the other three, just for a little while.
Oh.
Gabriel gets to see what it's
waiting
like to
for
be
it.
on the outside of the secret information. So
Nah, she's
these three
confirmed.
are going to disappear for a little while, but they might be chatting away in chat to you guys, so keep an eye out down there. And I will just mention to you three, feel free to talk a little bit, but I realized last episode that your audio is still recording in the background. So when that matches up, it can be a little bit tricky. So feel free to talk, just not of completely inconsequential things.
Okay.
All right, see you soon.
Bye.
See ya.
Ooh. This is exciting.
All right, Rosie, it's just you and me.
Okay. They can't hear me, but I can hear them, so I'm also just gonna mute them for me too.
Oh, did that not mute them?
Nah, you just deafened them.
Oh, oops. Okay. You head into the front door of the church, Rosie. Above the door hangs a large iron symbol of Darkarth, the broken anvil.
Mm-hmm.
No hammer adornment. And you enter into this fairly dimly lit building. The insides, the walls are carved from stone in such a way that they almost feel like a natural cavern. They're very non-uniform, almost ill-fitting the way that they fit together, not like the polished walls that you saw in the Segogen Earthcaller church a couple of days ago. Almost feels like you're underground as soon as you walk inside. There are windows, but they're quite narrow and small and rather high up on the walls. And it's a almost oppressive kind of atmosphere, but the people inside seem to feel quite comfortable with it. There's quite a lot of gnomes sitting on pews, some just sitting on the floors, and doesn't seem to be a sermon or a service happening at the moment, but there's quite a lot of gnomes just doing their own private prayers and things like that.
I look around to see if I can find any sort of priest or father or priest. That's
Sure.
what I'm looking for.
As you start looking around, you see an older-looking gnome that sort of seems to fit the bill for some member of the clergy here. As you look, he seems to be bidding farewell to a gnome that he was speaking to, who turns and begins walking towards the door, towards you.
I step out of the way of the gnome walking towards me, and I sort of move to sort of take his place in front of the priest, and I guess I greet him. Hello there. My name is Rosie. There's no point in lying, I think. My name's Rosie. I'm looking for Father Kieran.
Ah, Father Kieran, you've not been to a service in a few months then, I suppose.
No, unfortunately, it's taken me a while to make it to church, I'm afraid.
Ah, understandable. These things happen. No cause for worry. Father Kieran retired a few months ago. He's enjoying some well-deserved rest and relaxation. He served the church and our Lord Darkarth well for many years, and he's taking a well-earned break. He may or may not return, but at this stage he is simply enjoying some time off. My name is Father Bruno, but please just call me Bruno. What can I help you with? Rosie, what brings you to the church today?
It's just awful business. A friend of mine, Michelle, she's been arrested by the Watch.
Oh.
And I know she's a frequenter of the church, and I've just come to speak with the people that she's been meeting with in an attempt to see if I can get someone to help clear her name. I don't suppose you happen to know, like, who she was speaking to too much? Like, she's an old friend, so I haven't seen her a lot recently, but when I heard that she was locked up, I had to help.
Well, that is a sad thing to hear, but sadly not a surprising one. You know how we are treated in this city by the Watch. And
It's disgusting, really.
Indeed. Tell me, Rosie, what is your surname, your family name?
Swift River, sir.
Swift River. A good name. A good old gnomish name. Come, join me. We'll speak in private. We wouldn't want this sort of matter to be public knowledge, would we?
No, of course, sir.
Come on, I'll show you my favourite spot. And he begins heading towards open archway at the back of the church. Quite low, as you would expect, being a structure built for the use of gnomes. And he begins to lead you up a wide spiral staircase at the back of the church. Before long, you find yourself at the top of the fairly squat tower that juts out of one end of the church. As you reach the top, he leans against one of the armrests along the tower and looks out across the river towards the richer and higher class north end of the city.
Are we in open air, undercover, or in a room?
So it's open air with a roof, so there's no windows, but there are several pillars holding the larger roof on top.
Yeah, so it's just like a top, but then there are like poles keeping a roof on.
Yeah.
Sort of like how you would originally build a house in Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
He sort of stares out for a few moments and says, "Rosefina Swiftriver, I've heard of you. You know, your name gets around. We've
Shuffle uncomfortably.
I think that you and I we used to run in similar circles not long ago. I don't know everything about you. I don't think we ever met face to face, but I've heard the things that were common knowledge at the time. An incredibly talented thief, and one that had a job go sideways not too long ago. Heard that you were dead. I'm quite pleased to see that isn't the case. I could have used talents like yours in the recent past, I'll be honest. So tell me, Rosie, what have you been doing with yourself since you dropped off the map, so to speak?
Just making friends in the right places. Keeping low, making sure not to get into any trouble. Keeping the name dead is so tricky when you're, I guess, ostentatious. So, just trying to do right by the city at the moment.
Well, that makes two of us. Tell me, what happened with Michelle? How do you know of it?
She attempted to capture/kill a friend of mine. They weren't particularly fussed with making sure that nobody died. Unfortunately for them, neither were we. Michelle was lucky to make it out, but as it stands, we need to find people that gave her the instructions in an attempt to see if we can't take a bit of the blame off of Michelle.
Ah, I see. Trying to go for whoever's in charge of her, so to speak. That she didn't act of her own volition.
More that she was doing it in the name of Gelth, others are using it in the name of war.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not sure what kind of mess that Michelle has gotten herself into in some misguided, but I'm sure well-meaning attempt to serve our Lord Darkhearth. It is a tough time for the church.
We know she was part of a sect called the Hammer of Darkhearth. I was hoping Father Kieran might have some insight, but since it is you, Father Bruno, I'll ask you. Do you know where they operate / who they are?
Well, in the position that I am, you certainly hear a lot of things. Seem awfully curious, Rosie. This seems to go beyond just trying to help a friend. You said we earlier. Who's we?
My interest... I may not have been as forthcoming when I first came. Michelle is less of a friend, more of she attacked me. In this case, we just people that are trying to look after the city right now, and I really just don't. I'm so sick. I am so sick of gnomes just bringing us all down by committing violence and hatred, all in the name of our gods and our desire to see our city return to us, and I need it to stop. So that's why I'm here, Father. I'm here to restore a bit of peace to the city. I'm here to freaking help Michelle because she's clearly misguided, and at the moment, I just really need your help.
He looks thoughtful for a few minutes and then turns back towards the cityscape in front of him. He says, can you imagine it, Rosie, what this city looked like just a few hundred years ago? It would have been beautiful. Before our time, I know, but our parents, our grandparents would have seen this land with its beautiful rolling hills and bountiful lands, the beautiful rivers, the waters of the river Illabar. And look at it now. It's become a cesspool of filth everywhere. They bricked over our beautiful homes built in touch with nature, and they turned our sacred river into a sewer, Rosie, to flush their shit into the sea. Over the last few hundred years, our Lord, my Lord, Darkheart's hold has weakened over these lands as the human's hold has grown stronger. It's gotten to the point where he can't act directly on these lands anymore. He can act only through us, Rosie. He turns and looks you in the eyes. He says, "We are his hammer, Rosie, and we will fall with furious vengeance on those whose ancestors wronged us. We still suffer from their ancestors' actions. You suffer from the actions of these people's ancestors. It's time they felt some of that suffering themselves. I know that you want to do what's right by this city, Rosie. So do I. Our end goal is the same, a peaceful city. But we can't turn the city back into what it was. The beautiful land's gone. The river has been turned to other purposes. Even if we burnt the city down and started from scratch, it wouldn't be the same. So all we can hope for now is to take it back to our rightful ownership, to nurture it and try to ease it back into some kind of alignment with nature and the lands. I know you don't understand, and that's okay. Not everyone does, but they will. You will, in time, see that there is only one way forward for us. This, below us, isn't even a real church to Darkhearth, not anymore. The real churches to Darkhearth were built in our tunnels, underground, where we lived for centuries. And that's where the real church is, Rosie. We can't separate ourselves from these lands. I'd like to show you. I'd like to show you so that you understand. And like I said, we run in similar circles. I know that you'll see some familiar faces if you take me up on my offer, and you will be welcomed. I promise you that. If you decide to come around midnight tonight, there is a very special ritual happening. It's a sacred rite that is very important, and I'd like for you to be there. I really would. He hands you a folded piece of paper from his pocket. He says, "Memorize this, Rosie, and then destroy it. I trust you. I know enough about your history that, well, should you do anything rash, I could certainly bring you down with us if that was necessary. But I don't want to do that. You are valuable, not just as a set of skills, but as a gnome of this community. Think about it." And with that, he turns and begins heading down the stairs.
I just call after him. Thank you, Father.
He just sort of waves a hand behind him as he continues down the stairs.
Do I recognize Father Bruno?
Give me a wisdom roll.
Just a wisdom check. That one. Doing a struggle. 15.
15. The name and the face don't ring a bell to you. You don't think you've met in person before. Certainly not for any period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not someone you recognise by name or face.
Okay.
At least not this name.
Okay. And he said it was midnight tonight. Should I choose to take him up on his offer?
Yes. Said that the ceremony would be happening at midnight tonight.
Cool. Don't mind me. All good. I head back downstairs.
Yep. You reach the bottom of the stairs. Bruno is in conversation with a pair of gnomes towards the front of the church. He doesn't glance your way at all.
Okay. I'm just thinking for a second. So, clearly, the church is underground in some way. Which, don't tell anyone, chat. You keep that to yourself.
Secrets.
So, can I see any visages of a hammer anywhere inside the church at the moment?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. That one is a 14.
14. You take a bit of a glance around the church and you see several of, again, these like dark cast iron symbols of Darkhearth himself, that broken anvil. But none of them that you can see have that hammer sigil.
Alright. I suppose in a sense of... I guess there wouldn't be any way to sort of check and see if any of the worshippers here might be part of the sect. Like, I'd have to see if they have an amulet, or...
I mean, in your look around, you see a few wearing just amulets of Darkhearth. You do notice that quite a few of them are gold, kind of a bit more ostentatious, especially on the more wealthy-looking people in the church. Others who clearly can't afford or aren't in that kind of inclination have got far more simple, steel or other metal amulets. Some people are clutching them in their hands. You can't make the amulet out itself, just that it's on a chain around their neck. Again, at a scan of the room, you don't see any of this hammer iconography jump out.
And the amulet I have has iconography of the hammer on it, doesn't it?
Yes, so yours has got the symbol of the broken hammer, but on top of that, sort of in the foreground of that broken anvil, is this golden blacksmith's hammer. Which, so far, you've only seen that amulet on the two gnomes that you fought yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I think I've probably unintentionally, well, I say unintentionally, obviously I talked to him on purpose. I think I've probably struck gold with Father Bruno, just in the sense that we got something to check out. So I have to come back to the church at midnight tonight. Yeah. Cool. With that, I don't know if I'm missing anything.
Are you just pocketing the piece of paper he gave you for now?
I mean, I should probably read it. I'll be completely honest, I didn't realize he handed me a piece of paper. I was writing down notes.
That's okay. He handed you a folded piece of paper from his room.
Yes. I do open it to read it, because why not? It's a note that I can read, and these guys can't hear it.
The piece of paper has a sort of mud map, I suppose, of it clearly depicts the church itself and the crossroads to the northeast of the church. And there's a circle drawn with an arrow pointing to it, and then just the word midnight.
Okay, so that is where we are supposed to meet. Okay, that's fine. So with knowledge of a ritual happening tonight, and just no info was really gathered for me, which is a little annoying. So considering we have the next stage of where we're going, I think I've probably exhausted all of my leads here. Not noticing anybody that could be related to this sect in particular, everyone just being an innocent worshiper. I think I won't bother them, because that's how you make enemies. Alright. I head back outside.
Sure. You head back out onto the street. Your eyes take a moment to adjust to the brighter lights.
Alright.
And
Do a quick scan for the boys.
We're back.
and Rosie
We're back.
Oh god.
leaves
That
the front door of
scared
the church.
shit out of me.
Yeah, that was.
Welcome back. She sort of seems to stop for a moment on the threshold of the church, and sort of glances vaguely in your direction. Do you head straight over to them, Rosie, or are you taking the long way?
At the threshold to the church, take a sharp left, and I keep walking.
Yep. You guys all see Rosie leave the building and start walking away.
Hey, Rosie.
Shut up! Let's get out of earshot of the church.
No,
Maybe we should
okay.
just shut up and
Yeah.
follow.
Gabriel
Yeah,
spikes
let's just give
drawn
it
in air.
Let's give it a couple minutes.
A wide
and then we'll
berth.
head back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure we'll meet her back at either the tavern or the guardhouse.
All right, you
Let's
make a
just
good point. Yeah.
Wait 10 minutes. We never really.
How'd your dice
Came
game
up
go,
with the
guys?
second
Who won?
Actually, Hadrig won. It was fantastic. He rolled
Yeah.
2 6s in a row.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. And I
Nice.
finished his photography essay for him.
Loggy's typing about photography in the group chat, and I'm like, what?
Can I? Are the boys following behind me?
No, we'll give it a minute or two.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a couple of minutes.
Okay. I just kind of like cast a look back to see if I can still see them. As I do that, I attempt to make eye contact with Hadrig. Just as a like, see me, Hadrig. And then I take a right turn down an alley. And
I
as
know
do
what
so-
you. I know you can hear me, boy.
Come on.
Yeah. so you pause just long enough that you're pretty confident that they saw where you're going before
Yeah,
carrying
and then
on.
I take a right turn down an alley just to continue out of sight of the church.
All right, I think we should go.
We or you, Hadrig?
All of us.
Okay. All right.
Can I have a quick look around to see if like there's anyone that is looking at us or watching us
Sure.
at all?
Give me a perception check, Klaus.
Da-da-da. All right, here we go. 9 for Klaus and a perception check.
9.
Nice.
Not a brilliant roll. You take a look around and you are getting some looks, but you can't tell if that's related to Rosie's journey into the church or just because a couple of you stand out a little more than is ideal.
Cool. All right, let's go meet up with
Yeah.
our gnome friend, shall we?
Let's do it.
I sort of hang out and wait for them to catch up with me.
Cool. A few blocks away, where you're fairly sure that you're safe from prying eyes, the four of you come across Rosie leaning nonchalantly against the doorframe.
Almost lost in thought as well.
So, what'd you find? Anything interesting?
So I went in to find Father Kieran, the gentleman that Corporal Arnold mentioned, just because I felt like that was probably the best way to talk to somebody without necessarily knowing what's going on in the church. He retired, so thanks for that, Dorothy.
Bernadette!
False lead.
Her name's not even Dorothy.
No, it's Bernadette!
I'm
Anyway.
gonna look back at my notes, and it's gonna be Father Kieran, retired, like Rosie has killed him.
Rosie just went in and retired that boy.
Are you Father Kieran? Ha!
Happy retirement.
Anyway, I went in to find Father
Yeah.
Kieran. He's retired, living a happy, joyful existence, alive. Thank you very much. As far
Good
as I'm aware.
clarification.
And instead, I met the very charismatic Father Bruno, who is currently taking charge of the church. Now, I did also say that Michelle and I were friends, and I was trying to exonerate her from her imprisonment at the Watch. I don't think I lied at any point, because I was basically just trying to implicate that we were trying to get the people that coerced Michelle into doing the wrong thing, rather than just put all the blame on her, you know? That's what we're doing. That's what we're trying to do. Anyway, long story short, Father Bruno is creepy and weird, and he gave me a note.
Ooh. What does the note say?
Yes.
Oh.
So apparently there's going to be some kind of ritual tonight at the church again, and he's invited me to come along, have a gander, have a gaze. I think it definitely has something to do with what's going on with the Hammer sect. And that was it. That was pretty much all he gave me. I think I'm gonna go. I think at this point, I think we have to go.
Okay. Are you worried that this is a little bit dangerous?
Yeah. I mean, he took me up to the top of the tower, and I honestly wondered if he was gonna throw me off the top. I honestly wondered if this was gonna be the end for good old Rosie.
Guys, can we retcon real quick? That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I was worried he was gonna be like, I know exactly who you are. What?
So, if I may recap, you walked into the church and met someone that you described verbatim as creepy and strange and weird, who
he looked
you suspect
normal. He
might
looked
have
nor-
pushed you from the top of the tower to your death, and he's invited you to a ritual tonight, and we're going.
To be fair, he did make mention of it after I talked about trying to find the Hammer sect, and also he was talking about how even if he burnt the city to the ground, there's no undoing what the humans have done.
Oh, sick. Love
Yeah.
that.
Vitriol,
That
yeah.
is a well-adjusted no.
That is somebody that goes to therapy. Anyway,
Yeah, he's an angry bird.
He definitely doesn't go to therapy, can confirm.
no.
No.
So I think it would be important for us to attend this ritual. He did give me a map, and I obviously handed over for these guys to see.
It's just got a
Rosie
skull and
hands you
crossbones on
a
it.
piece of paper that seems to have a fairly shoddily drawn mud map of the church, and it seems to show a crossroads to the north, northeast, northwest. What did I say, Rosie? Did I say northeast or northwest? Doesn't matter.
I'm
We're
gonna
saying northeast
say-
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just go for northeast.
The northeast crossroads above the church, and there is an area circled, and then just the word midnight.
Well,
with the map, like I'm looking at the version of the map that we have here, obviously on the screen. Where is the Church of Gelf Darkarth on our screen? Like, is it about here? I'm trying to click on it, but it doesn't want to work on my iPad.
I can't see your screen.
Ah!
So, all right. So, all right, here we go. This one. See this one?
Yep.
Hang on. Let me get it for everyone to see.
Yellow?
See where this sort of circle is? This map is not one to one.
Nice.
Okay, it's a representation.
That's fine.
This is
Yeah.
not a one-to-one representation of the map. But the Church of Gelth is around here, in the heart of the burrows, really.
Yep. And then
Keep clicking, everyone.
Everyone
Sorry.
click it.
I can't click
Together
it,
we can
so-
destroy them.
Wait, is that
Anyway.
in the burrows or is that in Illabar?
No,
Mine's in the
it's
burrows.
it's in the burrows. The border between Illabar and the burrows is this kind of distinction, this sort of road here.
You see how in the burrow, like how it's all like dirty on the ground underneath the houses? That's how you know it's still the burrows.
Yeah, the burrows spreads on both sides of the river. I just didn't want to put the label over the river, that's all. I didn't want you to think that
Okay,
was the name
fair
of
enough.
the river.
Fair enough. All right, I'm on board.
Sorry, I'm not a cartographer, okay?
So when we say crossroads, where are the crossroads?
I mean, look, we'd have to zoom in further than this map does not have that kind of resolution.
Oh no,
Yes.
it's not.
But to the
Yes.
north, the northeast
It has.
of the map.
So it's okay.
I mean, it does have the resolution, not this version of the map does not.
Okay.
If we go to the scene
Okay,
table,
so
I'll try
it's-
and point it out as we
It's
scroll past
literally,
it.
it is literally super duper close to that. Okay. That's fine.
Yes.
Anyway, so we're gonna go to
Just
the
in the
north
right
of that.
So
Yes.
the point is, we all know where that is because we all live in the city, except for Gabriel because he's a dirty gun.
Outsider.
Indeed. So now that we're all oriented,
That's good.
we are going to jump to our break because we've got so much to catch up on.
Yo.
Ooh,
So
Nelly.
I'm gonna start this by
Holy heck,
saying,
hello.
"Hi IRL, you're totally fine." I deleted it because the way that we do this is because the guys aren't supposed to know exactly what's going on, but obviously we can't kick them out without ruining everything. So that's why I deleted your message. Not everybody saw it, which is good, and luckily for us, it was not a very
It wasn't too bad.
Look,
I
it
did
wasn't
see
a very big spoiler.
That's okay.
I
Look,
saw it, but Rosie is hiding it from us.
we all know
didn't even
we're
know.
all we all know enough to not take out of game information, but I
For sure.
like separating the players for some things because that way when they find out things in character we get a real reaction. But totally fine, all good. Don't
Yeah.
sweat it. So let me go
Yeah.
through the list, and then I'm going to try so hard not to miss anybody. Please tell me if I do, so I can say thank you. Days of Future Cats, great name. Thank you very much for the follow. Pornito, also a great name. Thank you very much. Artie Iris, I hope that's how I pronounce that. Thank you. Hurlbeck the Merchant. I think that's Hurlbeck.
Yeah, I was wondering how to
Hi.
pronounce your
Merchant.
name, Merchant. I guess Merchant's
Thank
fine,
you,
Merchant.
Enzo Franscoli. Thank you very much for the follow. Pyromaniac 806, and just right now Zel 54. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope you guys are enjoying the campaign tonight. This is our 8th session of this campaign. Apparently, I thought it was 7, but I've lost count. So if you're just joining us now, I hope you guys are having fun. We've got the previous episodes up on YouTube at youtube.com/nerdsofthewest if you would like to catch up on the adventures so far. With that said, I'll do the spiel because I'm remembering things today. We are Nerds of the West.
Yay.
We are a variety channel in Perth, Western Australia. We are a huge group. This is just 5 of us. There's like 10 or 11 or 12 of us. We've established that I can't count. We do board games,
10.
we do video games, we do role-playing games, we do crazy things like Giant Jenga and Finska. We do all sorts of stuff. So if any of that sounds fun to you, good thing you followed. Thank you very much. Please check out YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. We're called Nerds of the West basically everywhere. And you can catch up on more of that kind of thing. And if you jump on the Discord, you'll get notifications when we go on live and all that kind of crazy high-tech shenanigans.
Jenga. Crazy.
And sometimes you
Oh, it
won't,
was-
because that
it was
Discord
time.
breaks.
Oh,
was
I
good.
did leave out that it was punishment Jenga, and every time you pull a block, you had to do a punishment.
Also,
Random-
it's
random
not
It was
actually.
pretty crazy.
It wasn't actually Jenga. It is like Gengo or
Genjo.
Genjo
Yeah,
or something.
Genjo.
And it's
Legally
massive.
distinct Jenga.
Legally
Yeah.
distinct Jenga. It's massive, and it's currently sitting in my kitchen because that's the only place there's room for it.
Nice.
It was a fantastic day that Tom had to do a shot of tomato sauce, which he still didn't finish.
He bitched out.
Dude,
I
he didn't even
know.
do it. He was like, I will do a shot of alcohol, shot of this, shot of that, no problem. But it came to a shot of tomato sauce, and he was like,
Disappointing.
no, can't do
Yeah,
it.
he was defeated. He was the
He
god
was
of
like,
bomb.
let me just lick it.
Now is your
And tomato
chat.
sauce
Yeah.
killed me.
All right.
It was like,
We also had some banger chats that I want to go over before we
Yeah,
gloss over.
yeah,
I don't know if you guys
absolutely.
have got any favorites, but that did you all hear about the tavern stuff entirely by Kenku? It's called the Crowbar. Pyromantic.
That made me laugh.
His first time chat to drop a pun, a D&D pun.
I love it. I love it so much. It's so
That
great.
was good.
I love
First
it
of
so
all,
much.
how dare you? Second of all, good pun. I like it.
Yeah. How dare you?
We had a few people asking. I think we had 2 or 3 people ask about the best way to get started with D&D, and that's a tricky question because everyone's situation is different. I would say the way that I think most of us started, and I guess the first preference is if you got friends, rope them in, convince them to play. D&D is always best at a table, and it's good with friends because you are more comfortable to get weird with it, right, and role play. If you don't have friends that are interested, that's fine too. There are a lot of places that do first-time sessions, things like friendly local game stores. I know some public libraries do D&D, and if you search for like your city on places like Reddit, Facebook, there's often like board gaming groups and tabletop gaming groups that are, in every experience I've personally had, been very friendly to newcomers. So that's certainly one option. And if real life is not an option for you whatsoever, there is, of course, the World Wide Web. Roll20 is a very popular online role-playing platform. It's what we use for our maps. There are other services available. And Roll20 does have like a looking for group service where you can say, hey, I'm a player looking for a DM, or hey, I'm a DM looking for a party. And that's a good way to get into it as well. I would say digitally or virtually wouldn't be my first preference, personally not for a first session at least, but if that's the only option you've got, it's still a very fun experience. And it takes a few games and a few sessions to get into the swing of things and for it to feel sort of comfortable and know what you're doing. So if you are interested, give it a go, stick with it, and you'll find your vibe and your flow and your group.
Yeah, I was gonna say as well, like D&D the first time around may not gel with people. It's always gonna be one of those things where it may take a couple of goes with it to really get into the flow of it. I know I have more fun with it when it comes to the role-playing side of it. Like having those gameplay moments where you just turn around and go, and I swing my sword and I chop him in the ankle and then I accidentally cut him in the groin. Like having those moments I tend to have more fun with, but it took me well over a year to start having moments like that. So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
it's definitely.
I totally flunked my first experience, but
Mate, your first
definitely
experience,
got
we've
into it
talked.
later.
I'm never going to let you live down your first experience.
was this Dave? Is this
Terpsy the Man,
infamous
thank you
story?
very
No, it
much
is not
for
Dave.
joining. Nerds of the West does mean Perth. We're in Perth. Or Perth
Yes.
adjacent.
We are.
Close enough. We're spread out over like 200 kilometre
that's still Perth, man. Welcome
But it's
to
all
Perth.
Perth.
Just being-
The sprawl.
Yeah.
The sprawl is
And
real.
I'm sorry, 200 kilometers?
Beck, I think you and I are probably 200 kilometres apart. Pretty close.
We are not that
Pretty
far
close.
away.
I'd say like 50.
I want to
50.
No,
50
at
to
most
200.
100. At most 100 Ks.
Yeah,
man.
okay. Maybe it feels like
Nice.
200 because like 30 of that is city traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
also had I was really interested in Hellbeck and the Merchant's Kobold Warlock Old Ones patron character, because I had a Old Ones Warlock for a campaign that Lachlan ran, and I really loved that character so much. So Lachlan here goes, hey, I'm going to do a one-shot. It's going to be set in... what's the name of the big city?
Waterdeep.
Indeed, Waterdeep. And I was like, cool, excited. I've started planning out my character. Hang on, I think I've got it at hand. Give me a second. So I started planning out my character. I started writing about all these connections that he had in Waterdeep. Places that he'd been, people that he knew. Really thought I'm gonna make him a real Waterdeep local. I'm gonna study Waterdeep so I can play.
And this was like one of my first times DMing for D&D. Like, we normally play Pathfinder, or I normally DM Starfinder. And so I was like, yep, Waterdeep is a very standard setting. Everyone knows about Waterdeep. There's a board game for it. It's like the go-to location for D&D.
So I started
for the
creating
city.
my
Yeah.
Warlock's spellbook / journal, right? So the way I wanted to spin it, I'm a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft. I wanted to spin it as him being an unwilling warlock, right? So instead of being power hungry and searching for power, all the rest of it, I wrote him up as someone who accidentally caught the notice of a great old one, and it began manipulating him and using him as his like vessel in the realm. So I started writing this journal, and it's all about how he stumbled across this great old one. It's got like wax in it, it's got pages ripped out and burnt and all this stuff. And then we went for our first session and Lachlan said, "You guys get on an airship and leave."
Yep, that we did.
Immediately. And now the best part about it was 3 of the 4 people, maybe myself, 4 of the 5 people at the table were super keen for where we were going, right? Like, I pulled out a map. I had a digital map, so I turned a TV into an actual battle map space. And I pull up this map. And one of my players has been talking about how he got the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica recently. And he'd been reading it front to back. He's like, this thing is awesome. He can't wait to play it. Because, like, 4 of the 5 people at the table all play Magic the Gathering. And so they were really excited to play Ravnica. They're like, this sounds amazing. Here is Kai sitting there like, I play Magic the Gathering and also got told that we were going to be playing in Waterdeep.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to go on this adventure.
So after spending hours actually almost losing my mind writing an insane person's diary, all of that was immediately bunk because we jumped on an airship and swapped dimensions into Ravnica, which was, I mean, looking back, it's pretty funny. At the time, I was very disappointed, but
Hey,
it was a
you know
great,
what?
it was a great campaign that is yet to be finished. So
Yeah.
Enoch Blake will return.
Yes, he will. He will. It will happen, and we'll get there. I don't even know where the character sheets are because I feel like,
Bro,
I'm like,
Brokey
Did I take
D&D
mine or did I leave it
mistake.
with you?
but I feel like everyone took their sheets with them, but I can't remember. I'd have to have another look for it, but I definitely want to finish it because I have ideas of how I'm going to finish it. It was meant to be a 1-dayer for our Good Friday session that we run every year, and it definitely wasn't a 1-dayer or a 1 session. Like, we played from 8 a.m. till like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, so we played a full day's worth, and we achieved a lot, but we were only halfway.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're probably only
Yeah.
60% away through that. Zell54, thank you for jumping in chat. In Perth as well. Perth gang, represent. Partner, I just got a starter set, looking to start up a game with some mates soon. Awesome. I hope you guys enjoy it. I would really love it personally. No pressure. If you join the Discord, which is above your chat there, and let us know how it went. Let us know how your first session went. Let us know if anything crazy and exciting happened. I certainly still remember my first game of Dungeons & Dragons and the crazy things that happened. So I would love to hear some first-time stories if you wanted to pop in the Discord and let us know how that went. That would be awesome.
I will say, those starter sets are probably, if you don't want to go out and like buy, because like, you gotta, if you want a DM, right, you gotta have a player's handbook, you've gotta have a DM's or a Dungeon Master's guide and a monster manual, right? If you just want to dip your toe in, get one of the starter sets. They are well formed. You can actually do like a full game based off of them. I actually have, whenever I get into a new system, I often pick up the starter set. So I have the starter set for Pathfinder. I have the starter set for D&D, 5th edition. I have the starter set for the Alien role-playing game. I also have all the books, and we will play it one day.
Yeah.
And they're generally really good like value as well. Like, I think the
Yeah.
starter sets are normally about $40 thereabouts.
Yeah, $40
for most games.
And you get a set of
And
dice
it's like
usually.
you get a bunch of minis, you get some like brief rules, which are not the whole rules, which make it easier to get the basics down pat and not have to stress about the entire rulebook and the entire spell list. You get given character sheets, so you don't have to worry about creating characters. And then you get like some playmats as well, so you kind of get like a taste of everything that you could before you go full addiction on D&D.
Before we go too far past it, Hellback and the Merchant, my kobold warlock was named Minkik. I'm going to pronounce these so wrong. She worships the space dragon creature, which calls itself Miheralk, the Void Dragon, who wields unimaginable power, sealed her memories inside a void opal, which she attached to an amulet, and she wears around her neck underneath her space like cultist robes. That's pretty rad. So does she
That's a
remember her
unique
memories, or are
character.
they like locked away in the opal and she doesn't remember the memories because they're in the opal and has to like get them back?
Also,
That's rad.
also, Also, is it the dragon's memories in the opal, or is it the kobold's memories in the opal?
Oh, I thought it was the kobold's memories, but you might be right. It might be the dragons.
See,
Both
I'm
sick ideas.
I'm impressed with the depths that people go to in backstories, right? Because my backstories often just resolve into me big man, me smash rock. Ha! Like my first D&D, my first,
And we love
Pathfinder-
Hadric for it. Okay.
Yeah,
That's right. He's a lovable giant.
my first long-term role-playing character, we were playing Pathfinder, and my character was literally named Rock, and he was a barbarian, and he was just, I smash things. I'm the strong guy.
Nice.
And then it was just like, yeah, we barbarian tribe, we smash rock, like caveman type thing.
Yeah. That's frequently a very fun way to play the game, because on one
yeah.
hand, like, going deep in your backstory can bring a real sort of sense of complexity and like realism. But on the other hand, sometimes you just want to hit things hard and watch the damage rack up.
Yeah.
And
The thing with
I know.
backstories is that everyone plays this game differently, and that's great. Like, I personally love writing backstories because I enjoy writing and that stuff, right? But there are other people who want to play it for different reasons. You know, they enjoy the combat more, or they enjoy the improv more and want to make stuff up on the fly more than having stuff set in stone. So I'm not too pushy as a DM for a massive amount of backstory. I'm okay with a bullet point list as long as it gives me enough to try and weave everyone into the story a little bit. Those of you who've been watching a few sessions know that Chris has had some running off and doing things away from the group, and a lot of that is based on, you know, some of his backstory. The stuff that Beck was just doing as Rosie, in some ways related to the story she's given me. You know, we've weaved Lachlan into kind of the Watch as a whole, with his father being a member of the Watch. Reese's backstory hasn't come into it a whole lot yet, but don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Hadric.
Yeah, it's only so long until he goes on a secret super espionage mission, just like the rest of us.
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion that I might know how my backstory weaves into it. It's
Shame! Bing!
Yeah.
Shame!
No, I was just thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, I reckon if it's gonna happen, it will happen this particular way, which will be cool. I'm also not going to be upset if it doesn't happen, right? Literally, when I came up with the backstory for Hadric, I feel I often take, like, the main role in a lot of the games that I play, and I really didn't want to take the main role in this one, which is why I made my backstory just a little simple. Just so it was like, I want everyone else to get their stuff out.
I think the good thing is, I don't know about you guys in the driver's seat, but I feel like from where I'm sitting, you've all had, like, kind of your roles. I don't feel like anyone's got, like, main character syndrome going on at the moment. Like, Beck has been certainly spearheading interactions with the gnome community, which makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, Lachlan has been taking the lead in interrogations a fair bit, which I enjoy.
Also an ass-kissing butt.
I love that Reese has been sort of the almost the face when it comes to talking to the superiors. Like, talking to the sergeant and the corporal, he's like summarizing what they've done for the day. And Chris has got his own like whole Facilin, speaks Facilin and nobody else does, so he's kind of got that market cornered.
He's the token guy in your workplace that can speak the language that nobody else can understand.
Yeah.
So anytime someone comes in and speaks that language, you're like, Gabriel, can you come over here?
What did he say? Landmine.
A couple more chats that we missed. Terps the Man running a Fortnite game on Sundays, playing Waterdeep. Players acquired the deed for Troll Skull and have renamed it to Lifted Spirits. Now they're trying to find a way to turn it into a TARDIS. Players will always try to buy a bar, steal a bar, obtain a bar. It is the law of role-playing games. Players want to own taverns. It's just a natural...
You need an income
entropy.
when you're not exploring.
I hate it.
Lachlan hates it because we derailed the campaign by buying a bar.
There's
No,
two certainties.
you derailed my campaign by taking over the bar, accusing the bartender of trying to poison your drink, and then getting him carted off to jail. That's why I hate it.
Look, to be fair.
Well, he did. You can't prove otherwise.
There's two certainties in a D&D game, right? they're gonna buy a bar and they're gonna try and kill God. That is like the two.
Yep.
Yeah.
God has
Absolutely.
revealed themselves in front of you. What are his hit points? What's his
nothing.
AC?
I roll for initiative.
Yeah.
The great
Hold
mighty
back and just clarify.
Cthulhu.
Sorry, Beck.
I was just to say the great mighty Cthulhu dragon burst through the door. I try and seduce it.
I sense motive on it.
That's the next
Does he
step.
have dark vision? I have dark vision.
I rolled a seduce. I
blind.
failed. I rolled a hit.
The
Oh,
great
I can
door
see
of puzzles presents itself to you. I try and persuade the door to open.
Yeah, nat 20.
Can I sense motive the door?
Hellbecken has clarified that it is the kobold memories that are sealed in the Opal. I think that's
That's
a
an
rad
interesting character.
backstory. My first D&D
very
character is
fun.
Terpsy the Man. My first D&D character was a halfling druid named Viney. He's ripped
This is a
apart
good one.
by a Dryder. In the Out of the Abyss adventure, the DM gave a great eulogy. He lies Viney here and here and there.
That made me chuckle.
Nice.
That's good.
There's been
That's
some
Here
good.
lies
great
Vine,
player
and
deaths
here,
over the years
and
as well.
here, and there. That's very good. I love that.
One of my favorite characters I played was in the Out of the Abyss adventure, where I played my dwarf cleric, whose name I cannot remember at this point in time.
Dwarfy.
Rock
but
2.
Yeah, Rock 2. But I tried my best to do Deckard Cain impression from Diablo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Either nice or cringe, depending. I don't know.
Very cringe. Everyone at the table hated it. And the DM actually invented a potion to make me younger, so that I didn't have to do the voice.
To remove your voice. Oh my god.
Fun times.
And I've actually I've talked about this campaign before, but we had to home rule a curse that was put upon the party so that we could properly explain metagaming in a way that made sense in the story. So everyone could just hear each other's thoughts, so that when one person was being told somebody and someone referenced it later, nobody was like, well, how did you know that? Because we just couldn't stop metagaming.
Magic don't go to
yeah.
explain.
That is rough. Like
My
I
first
play a lot of
character
stuff.
was named Nakor. 10 points if you know what that's a reference to. And he was a gnome cleric of Galglidagold? I want to say. Is he the trickster gnome god? I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was my
Sure.
first game, and I didn't realize that clerics use their holy symbol as like the conduit for their power, right? And we bumped into a bunch of lizard folk who don't like gnomes and specifically don't like Galglidagold because their gods are like not friends. So I was like, this means nothing to me, and just lobbed it into a swamp and lost all my powers. First session.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Underscore
you're gonna
65.
need that.
Welcome on and thank you very
Oh,
much
no.
for the biddies.
Thank you for the 100
Thank you,
biddies
underscore.
Alrighty, guys. I think that is a good moment for us to take a very quick break to go and do some water bending.
Yes.
Because
Please.
Sounds good.
my bladder is pretty.
I-
Oh no!
Find the
I
nearest
can't go on
fountain.
break while there's a
Ah,
hype
spam
train.
run.
Oh my god!
Spam.
Spam,
Welcome on
bruh. Oh my
26
goodness.
months.
Wow.
My lights are going crazy. Oh,
Oh no, is it happening? Is it?
Go to your wee wees.
I don't
Do
know
I
if
have to sit here?
I will sit here busting until the hype train ends. If it
I
comes.
really got a water bend, guys.
Oh man.
I
Do
mean,
you guys
Hey,
want
you
to
know what?
see
You
the
guys-
pain in our
we
eyes?
do need the money though.
Yeah.
We were just talking about how we need this to be a full-time job already.
That's right.
I also
we'll
need to
let-
go to the
we'll let
bathroom.
Hadrian
I
go.
literally,
Yeah.
I walked in the door, sat down to do D&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys very, very much. We are going to take a very, very quick break. We're just going to toilet, refill some drinks, and then we will be back. So feel free to keep popping off in chat as we go and come back. We'll join you for some typing.
Share your D&D stories with each other, and we will be right back.
BRB, guys. I've I forgot where the break button is. Found it!
Oh.
My drink is refilled.
Oh!
We're back.
I'm ready.
We've done our water bending.
Yep.
My iPad is plugged in and charging.
Hey.
Oh no, are we draining your battery?
Look, it's an iPad where the screen is on. It was draining itself, pretty much.
I mean, I drained something. Hey!
Hey, hey,
Oh!
hey.
That's terrible.
That's a real lowbrow humor there.
I'm all about the toilet jokes, baby.
That's
Hey,
Lowest
toilet jokes.
common denominator jokes. Let's go.
The great equalizer. Toilet
Come for the
Toilet
D&D,
humor.
stay for the pee. Alright.
Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
And we're live.
Oh no.
Oh God.
it. God.
Will someone
Hot
please
mics.
think of the children?
No, I didn't accidentally send us live this time like I did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen people calling for Reese's cancellation yet, so we're fine.
I mean,
Wait
I
for it,
am,
brother.
but I'm internal, so.
Yeah. Your complaints go straight to HR.
Yeah.
I'm also HR. So
You're
I
HR.
say, yep. Oh, another
Delete.
complaint from Chris. Bin. Like,
That's it. Reese's toilet humor is getting out of hand. He's just jealous.
he
I'm-
wishes he could be as funny as me.
I've
We
got
all
an
do,
in with the
to be
boss.
honest.
I'm never getting fired.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I mean,
At least
I'm
tell
also
us all
sleeping
the
with the
humor
boss, so.
That's how you move up
Wait,
to
you
the
guys are
position of
sleeping with the
DM,
boss
right?
too?
Damn it!
You guys are terrible.
How do you think I got my own show?
yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think I even got on Nerds of the West? All right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Can my
behind the
girlfriend come?
The
Peek
two
behind
most
the
beautiful
curtain.
words
I
in the
was-
English language: default, default, default. Funny joke. All right, guys, you guys ready for part 2?
Yes.
You ready to act on some intelligence that you have gathered through shady means?
Intelligence? Us?
Good luck.
I never thought I'd hear the two in the same sentence.
Alrighty,
yeah.
chat. If you missed,
jump into it.
if you missed me explaining last time, we have a little timer down here that I'm going to kickstart in a moment. That will put us into our super focused MLG gaming time, where we won't be talking to you guys face to face in chat. But don't worry, we are reading it. It's right there on the screen, and we will be typing away and replying to you when we can. Just trying not to break the flow of the game too much and make a 2-hour session into a 4-hour session or longer. We get sidetracked enough without
Yeah.
going off on tangents talking to chat. So we'll do that in another little while. Until then, please enjoy and please keep shooting messages through because we are reading them. And if you have to
And
kick
we may-
anyone out of the chat again, if we have to deafen anybody on secret missions, they'll like people to talk to.
Just don't spoil
That's
what's
it.
happening.
So
Yeah,
the
totally
four of
didn't
you,
even get
never
the-
split the party, but we have split the party so much.
It's because
you gotta
we
do
have.
what you gotta do.
Before we start, I just want to address splitting the party. That is a trope that needs to fucking die. Alright?
It sure does.
There,
I
think
there
so,
should
yeah.
be times where you can actively split the party and not be afraid that someone's going to die. That is...
I mean, I like to think of it that the DM is not out there to kill you. Like, he wants to make, or he or she wants to make the best possible story and is going to work in the best manner for the players so that you can sort of push the boundaries and they're going to try and not just straight up murder you. There are times, though, where the party has been split and Chris died immediately, but that was his own fault because we were going into
okay,
a
Who was the
situation.
dungeon master for that particular moment of my
I'm gonna pause
bard
the
history?
chat. I'm gonna pause the time for a second because we're already on a tangent.
Okay, let's get back into it.
But in fairness, that was all your fault, Chris, and I accept zero blame for that whatsoever. The party knew they were going into a boss fight. They knew they had the checkpoint and the stash of items. They knew that they were going into a boss fight with a super powerful necromancer, and Chris's character immediately, everyone walks in and they go, okay, we're going right. Chris goes, I'm going left, and stumbles on the boss before everybody else.
Yeah, I found the boss first.
And immediately
I did
died.
a ton of damage. I did a ton of damage that fight. It was just against my friends.
And because they were fighting a necromancer, Chris was promptly raised from the dead to fight his friends. And he blames me for this. When he waltzed off in the boss battle room by himself. I refuse to accept blame for that.
One thing you did really well there, Kye, was that you let me control my character killing my friends while I was doing it. So I had a good time. It was fun.
Look, the DM is only ever going to kill you if you A, go into combat and you roll poorly and they roll very well, and or you are underprepared and you go in there and just get slaughtered.
Yeah, true.
So,
No, things happen. Alright, starting the timer again.
Gone.
Game mode. Get in the game.
We join the... Actually, real quick, everyone clap. Rosie, clap on camera,
yeah.
please. Klaus.
Should you do it?
Hadrian. Gabriel. Me. Audio is difficult, and that just makes my life easier.
Just to be sure, is everyone still recording as well?
Yes.
Are you saying that because you're not?
Pause the timer.
Did anyone else do their homework as well?
I'm not the only one that stopped recording.
Wait, you guys
right?
had homework?
guys, I'm up to 2 hours. God damn.
2 and 2 for me. There.
Yeah, we're all on the same.
Yeah.
Guys, I only have 138 hours and 3 minutes left on my day.
All right, the four of you are standing on a fairly nondescript corner in the burrows of Rolands Landing. Rosie has just recounted to you her version, at least, of what happened in the church. And the current lead that you have is that there is some sort of ritual or meeting or ceremony happening at midnight with a meeting location just outside of the church.
Hey, Rosie, I have a question for you.
Go for it, Hadrian.
Did Father Bruno happen to mention where Father Kieran retired to and is now living his quote-unquote happy, joyful existence?
He did not. I don't think so.
Is definitely a live existence.
Yeah, he's definitely alive. He's happy. He retired and he's no longer here.
Look,
Where is
what I will say is where Father Kieran wound up is inconsequential to this, and it is because the reason why I went in there. Hang on. The reason why I went in there. I got confused for a second. The reason why I went in there with his name was because we had a name for someone in the church. He was just a foot in the door in this case. He is not related to this whatsoever because Corporal Arnold was like, say hi to Father Kieran for me. She clearly doesn't know what's going on in the church. She's a human.
So, Hadric has his hands together.
I would just like to point out that Corporal Arnold is a gnome, not a human. Carry on.
Oh.
Yep.
I've definitely missed that important piece of info. I did not realize Corporal Arnold was a gnome whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I
you know
thought
what?
she was human.
That was an important detail that we
I'm
never
pretty
got
sure
told.
Kye explained that in the first session.
I'm
just
sure
gonna write
he
that down
did.
as a note
Did
and
you
go-
not forget the part where I legitimately thought her name was Dorothy for the first 3 sessions?
I mean, I
yeah,
definitely,
that,
I probably
plays
should
into
have mentioned her gnome persuasion more often, but I definitely mentioned in the first
Alright.
I'm
session
100%.
that she's a gnome.
My session 1 notes say, session 1, the handbag, Sergeant Half-Orc Boris Chaplin, male, Corporal Bernadette Arnold, female, gnome. That is like literally my second line.
Wow.
Is
Black and white.
Yeah,
These people.
exactly.
I described her
Alright.
as a gnome.
Are we freaking going through notes now? Let's have a look. See, children?
So, alright, we have no...
Let's
Corporal
stop going
Arnold.
on tangents and let's move
No.
forwards.
That's fine. It's
Let
cool.
me finish my thought! So, would it not be best to check if Father Kieran is alive, per se? Just saying.
Okay, again.
You know what?
Don't think it's relevant. I don't think it's relevant in this situation. We just used him as a name. Like, we could go and ask some of the parishioners to see if Father Kieran is alive and if they have Sunday tea with him. But in this exact moment in time, I feel like we should go and stake out the spot that we are supposed to meet Father Bruno. See if we can find any good vantage points, because I don't think checking to see if he's alive is relevant.
You're right. Hadric, I think that Rosie is an imposter, and she's been replaced with someone from the church, and we
This
should
is a
go find
fake
out.
Rosie.
She's a
Father Kieran
simulacrum.
is.
It's not actually Rosie, it's someone else.
So is the secret meeting happening in the church, outside the church, on the church?
It is outside the church. I turn the
It's
note
happening-
around and I show
It's
him
happening
again.
outside the church.
So right here, pretend I'm holding something.
See
Right
the big
here.
red circle?
Right here is the church. The big red circle over here, where the crossroads are. That's where we need to meet.
Okay.
Church,
Okay.
not the church.
As you flip the page around, Rosie, you notice something you didn't notice before, written on the back.
I am
Um,
not Rosie.
Previously, you
Outrageous.
unfolded it, had a look at the map, but didn't really pay attention to the back. And now, as you flipped it around, you've noticed that scrawled on the back is "Blessing the Holy Weapon," just written, sort
Blessing-
of scrawled.
Blessing the holy weapon.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's a euphemism.
Father, what are you doing? I'm blessing the holy weapon.
Dang it.
Gotti. Serious.
So is the holy weapon is obviously the thing that we found that what's his name?
I know you're talking about Marin.
Marcel?
Marin. Bourgeois.
Marion. Marin?
Yeah.
Marin Bourgeois.
Marion Bourgeois.
Yeah, marinating in red soup.
He is that the weapon that we reckon it is, or do you reckon it's something else? Anyway, different
It could
thought,
be.
but
It could
still,
be a hammer. It could be a hammer.
Still-
It could also
could
be
be.
an electric weapon.
You know what? It could be a hammer that now has smite. So what I'm thinking is, I thought it was going to be inside the church, and my original thought was, what if we could get into the church during the day, wait it out, and go to like some of the higher areas, like in the attic or up on like the second balcony if it had one, and hang out, so that we were still inside the building and still inconspicuously part of the meeting if it was happening inside the church. But if the meeting is happening outside the church, could we still climb and overlook that area?
Well, that's what I'm thinking we do. We go and find the meeting point. We pick a place to hang. You guys find a place to subtly eavesdrop. And then hopefully y'all have enough sneak in you to follow us to the ritual place. Because it's a ritual.
So that's just the meeting point. That's not even going to be where it's taking place.
No. I think I might be going on my own little adventure again, but I'm gonna try to keep you guys.
God damn it. I thought you said that it was going to happen inside the church and
Hey,
you were meeting
hey,
them
you
outside.
know what? We can go on our own little adventure, guys.
Without me, you can go
We can
see
go-
if Father Kieran's alive.
Damn it, you
Except
beat me
for-
to it. We can go see if Father Kieran's alive.
That's
To be fair, he never said you had to go alone. You could just rock up and be like, "These are my friends."
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing. We could rock up and go, these guys also believe in the way of the hammer.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, hammer and the nails.
I too
Yeah,
want to bless the
Concentration all
holy
the
weapon.
way.
Damn humans.
I'm guessing Fusilla, like I turned to Gabriel and asked this question. I'm guessing Fusilla isn't all just like humans. Like they have dwarves and orcs in Fusilla, right?
Ah, we're on talking terms now, are we, Rosie?
Never ignoring you!
Guys,
Look,
we
if you
all
must know,
became
yes,
friends.
Fusilla is certainly a multicultural place. If that's what you wanted to know. Mostly it's humans, of course.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the
but-
second half is frog people. But,
They're all on
That's
crutches.
racist.
They've only got one leg.
The reason why I think that is because it could possibly be a little bit better to get you guys into the, hey, we're here to bring down Rolands Landing. If Gabriel can teach us all a few Fusillan phrases and make it sound like we're foreign.
Would that land us in trouble? Suppose I taught you how to greet someone in Fusillan and they started talking to you in Fusillan. Do you think that might...
I mean, the only thing I would suggest kind of as a subtle subterfuge is you just cut in as that they're too stupid to... They're not in charge. I'm in charge. You speak to me, not to them. They're
Yeah.
below me.
Okay. Well,
They're
what
my
sort of a
cronies.
phrase would you like? to know.
I don't know.
I enjoy the frantic typing from Gabriel as he asks that
I'm headed to
question.
Google Translate French to English.
Yes.
So
Parlez-vous français?
all right, let's spitball here, guys. So we know that Rosie is going to meet some people outside the church at this location at midnight. We don't know where they're going to go after this, and we should probably be there to help Rosie in case things go sideways and they actually find out that she is not there for the reason that she is claimed to be there. Or we send
sorry.
Rosie in and she goes by herself, and then this entire episode is a Rosie special.
Quick question. Quick questiones. Kai, what time of day is it?
By now, it's coming up on noon.
It's okay, so we still got 12 hours.
We
Yeah.
have
So
no show time.
this morning you went in and interrogated Michelle. Was the first thing you did this morning.
Yeah.
From there, you went and had a chat to Gerald at the tower, and Gabriel spoke to the Facilian prisoners.
Yeah.
You then went from there to the church. Rosie's had her conversation with Bruno, and you now met up afterwards. So, with all the walking back and forth across the city, you'd be coming up on midday now.
Yeah.
Do we
Yeah.
do we know that the weapon that Marin Bourgeois was creating was a weapon?
Yes, I think Tim actually confirmed it was a weapon of some script for us.
Yeah.
Should we go back there and see if it's still there?
At the place that he was killed?
Yes.
No, because we also confirmed that it was no longer there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the weapon's
it-
no longer.
Only the schematics were there, but the weapon
Only
itself was
schematics, no actual weapon.
Yeah. So you found the
I thought there
schematics.
was like parts of it.
You found the schematics, and you noticed that there were what looked like some sort of mounting brackets, clamps on a desk that looked like they were holding something that were no longer holding a thing. And you found some schematics of a sort of long tube with what looked like several of those bourgeois jars that trapped electricity attached to it with some other mechanisms that you didn't really understand.
I kind of see Klaus and Hadric just sort of like elbowing and side-eyeing each other, and I'm like, you guys want to go find Father Kieran, don't you?
We would really like to go find Father Kieran. That is.
Yeah. I mean, definitely his take. If he retired, then he surely had to give his blessing to Father Bruno.
He might know a bit more about Father Bruno. He might know his weaknesses. We might have to fight Father Bruno. Would you not like to know if he's a level 20 fucking necromancer? I would like to know that. That would be really good information for me to know.
Alright, so how do you suggest we find information on Father Kieran?
Well, we could always go chat to Bernadette.
That's true, she did seem to have a personal relationship with him.
Yeah. She might know about his retirement. Look, secretly, I really want to find him with a knife in his back to be like, this is suspicious. But we'll
All right.
take it one step at a time, shall we?
Alright, considering we do have 12 hours, it's not a bad course of action.
And also maybe we need to get some cloaks or something. Who knows?
Ooh, yes. Some such subterfuge.
You guys haven't spent any of your operational stipend that you were given either.
No.
I mean, I've stolen some money. Does that count?
That's operational.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
it's off the books. It's
Well, if we're going to be going
unofficial funding.
But
subterfuge
I've also given a lot of people a lot of money.
Yeah, you have. Well, why don't we go and buy some preparations and stuff then, if we're going to be going all subterfuge? Black cloaks, any curios or trinkets we might find interesting.
All right, Gabriel, you and Rosie go buy a set of black cloaks for everyone. Go back to the guardhouse and get the amulets of Gelth Darkhearth, as many as we can get, so then we can each have one. Klaus, myself, and Hadrig will go and see Father Kieran.
That
If
sounds
he
like
is
a
in fact
plan.
alive.
Well, you said he's alive and well, so we shouldn't find a dead body.
That was more like alive and well.
Yeah. So we'll all
that
go
sounds
back to the
Alive in air
guardhouse.
quotes.
If we all go back to the guardhouse first, then we can ask Corporal Bernadette about Father Kieran's whereabouts.
Yes.
Hang on, I've just thought of it. Alive
Hydrate.
and well? No. Alive? Question mark and well.
They got this all
They
messed
got
up.
this all wrong.
10 out of 10.
Alive?
That's
Question
a
mark.
simple
Well. Dot dot dot.
Don't dead.
Dead and
Cool.
gone.
So you guys start making your way back
No,
towards the watch
money
house.
down.
It's not far from the Church of Gelf Darkhearth, but you take a sort of circumspect route, so you're not seen doubling back, all in one group. But 5-10 minutes later, you rock up at the watch house, and opening the door, you see Boris, Sergeant Boris Chaplin, behind the desk, ruffling through a few pages. Welcome back. I've heard you've had a busy morning.
Yes,
You need to
sir.
get rid of that. You need to get rid of Gerald. He's bad at his job.
Why do you think he was lumped in that bloody tower away from anywhere he could do more damage?
Yeah, well, any more damage? He let a prisoner free. He smudged the numbers. Sergeant.
Look, if it was within my power to fire him, he would have been long gone. But he's got friends in high places, all right? We did what we could, getting him off the streets. But
He's got 2 years left till retirement.
Can you put him in a basement somewhere, sir? He is a menace to society.
I agree with you, Hadrick, but look at how understaffed we are. We can't just afford to be sacking people. It's hard enough to get people willing to work for the watch at all.
Sergeant,
Better him than no one.
I want to make you a proposition.
I'm all ears, Hadrick.
If in my time in the watch I can fill these seats, get rid of that man. We need someone who actually cares about the job in that position. This is why half the city's gone to shit, because the people that are taking care of the city don't give a fuck.
Hadrick, as soon as we've got the boots filled, I would love to get rid of him. We'll also need a favour from someone in the palace to get rid of that man, alright? His brother's the captain of the palace guard. I can't just fire him.
Let me work on that.
Look, you get me a favour from the palace. He'll be out on his ass
Alright.
before he can say, "Where's my keys?"
Guys,
Good,
side
I'm on
mission.
it.
We're off to the palace. Let's go get permission to fire that guy. Fuck the facility
Are we
fleet.
derailing
Let's
this
go deal
campaign?
with
Can we
it.
see the princess?
no.
Why?
The-
We want to get that guy fired.
Bro,
It's like calling the
facility
police because
stuff is my
McDonald's
side
was
mission.
out of
This
nuggets.
is my primary mission.
This is your backstory mission coming to
Yeah.
fruition now.
Gerald's my backstory. That's what it is.
Anyway, Sergeant,
Fill me in.
we're back here because we need some information of where we can find Father Kieran. There was another chap there, Father Bruno, who's taken over his post, but he seems to have some strange views.
Sure. First question: who the hell's Father Bruno, and who the hell's Father Kieran?
They're the fathers and the what are they called? They live at the
They're
church. Well, they're the fathers of the
pastors.
Church of Gelth, the pastors of Gelth Darkhearth. So
He sort of gestures, and I look like I frequent a gnome church. Do I?
you know, maybe
I don't think
you
I
just
fit through
know
the
the
door.
community, sir, and you have fingers in all the pies.
Well, that's a flattering picture you have of me, but I'm afraid those names don't ring a bell. You'd probably be better off speaking to someone with knowledge of the religions of the city, I suppose. Have you tried any of the other churches?
Is Corporal Bernadette here?
I've just relieved her. She left about 20 minutes ago. We're on
We,
back-to-back
we
12-hour shifts here at the moment with you guys out in the field.
Just so you
Sir.
guys remember, we did talk to Nima of the Church of Segagen Earthcaller. I'm not sure how close one god is to the other within the gnomish kind of religion spectrum.
Sort of like a
Maybe.
clergy
That is true.
council situation. Like they all get together once a week to figure out how to
Figure out whose god is the best.
religion the city.
Yep.
Yo, priests hang out, right?
Well,
Well, they can't hang out with the normies.
perhaps they've
Or did-
heard of one another, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, did Corporal Arnold go to the bar by chance? If she just finished 20 minutes ago.
Well, I mean, maybe. She's not a big drinker. I think she's probably more likely to go home and get some rest. But
We just want to ask her a quick question. Would you possibly be able to direct us towards her house, sir?
I mean, I don't have the address. She's in Illabar somewhere. She said once that she doesn't live far from work, but we don't have that close a relationship outside of work, if I'm honest. If you want to leave me with a message, I can ask her if I see her.
Well, we need to talk to her now. I'm sorry, this is
Guys,
unhelpful.
pick up on the hints. Kai hasn't written this part.
Well, I suggest you find yourself a wizard then, because that's outside of my capabilities here.
That's fine. We will go and find her ourselves. Thank you very much, sir.
Wow, harassing.
Yeah,
Anytime,
Spam
Rosie.
brings up a good point.
Like, I know that this
Alright.
is hard and it's been a rough first week, alright? But I promise you that I'm feeling it. Corporal Arnold's feeling it. The captain's feeling it. We all weren't expecting this week to go quite like this, alright? I get that you're frustrated, and if I can find the corporal, I will let her know that you are looking for her.
I just breaking game. I didn't realize that was a trigger for me. It's like management being like, "Look, we're all suffering." Oh, are we? Oh, are we?
It's too real. Beck, we're family, and I want you.
You don't like the donuts that we bought you? We bought you food so that you could.
Anyway.
Guys, we got pizzas.
We got pizzas.
Anyway, back in. We're going back in.
Hey, Jacinta gave you guys a promotion and a raise yesterday, alright? Let's chill the fuck out.
That's true. That's true.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm not denying that. Alrighty. So.
Black cloaks and we wait for the dark night. Dark of the night.
Yeah, I think we ought to maybe just spearhead this.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go get some subterfuge shit, and
Hell
we'll become bad.
Hold on. I just wanna. Is there like a magical item shop in the city?
There absolutely would be a magical item shop, or 10 in the city.
My precious.
So if you guys can afford
An invisibility ring.
any fancy schmancy
yeah?
stuff,
I just need to see the price. Oh, I
How
guess
much
you
it
would
would
make
cost.
up the price. Yeah, I'd like to go to a magic shop just to see what's there.
sure.
Could be a good idea.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
A cloak of elven kind.
Okay.
But you can also rule
Whatever
this
the
as
hell
metagame.
that is.
It's just the first item that came to Reese's head. So
I'm real bad with names. It's Sergeant Noble.
No,
Captain
Captain Noble.
Jacinta Noble.
Captain No.
This is Sergeant Boris Chaplin.
Boris Chapman. Thank you. And how do you spell terrible boss?
The normal way.
GEI.
God damn.
Have you got Cloak of Elvenhind up, or do you need?
I have cloak of elven kind up.
We are finding a
Oh,
place
sure,
in the
yeah,
city
I mean,
where
I,
someone may sell it.
It's a wondrous item.
I'll find
Yes.
what its recommended cost is, and then we can work off of that.
While
If
you're
I
doing
had-
while you're doing that, I'll spitball some role playing. Like I've done my fair share of sneaky shit in the past, so I know a pretty good. He's a good what would you call it? It's not financier.
Fence?
Not a fence either. He can help you. What is the term I'm actually looking
A
for?
ladder? Door?
Yeah, I'm looking for a really good ladder. No, he's
Cool. Well, you
I
said
kn-
it wasn't a fence, so I was like, maybe he's some other wooden object.
I hate you
He's
guys
gate.
so much.
Anyway, no, I know this guy. I know this guy that has all of the gear that we could possibly need for the sake of. Hang on, let me just check my notes.
A mechanic?
Sneaky shit.
Mechanic.
Oh, is it your
Um,
mate? What's his face?
Badger.
Badger? No, he's a
Badger.
people smuggler. He doesn't deal
Hey.
with this stuff.
Kai, don't worry about it.
You guys find a price.
I mean, I found the price it costs to make one, so it's going to be higher than that, and that's high.
Yeah, it's pretty high. Yeah, it's
Alright.
fine. Sorry, apologies for derailing.
That's
I
cool.
do not want to go to a magic shop.
So
Magic's expensive.
Yeah.
Would you believe?
we are
Yep.
currently in Illaba. We need to head northwest across the river through Dirt Town, and just to the edge of Dirt Town and the docks, there's a guy that I know that's got some stuff.
And what is that stuff, Rosie?
Sneaky shit.
Sneaky
Are we gonna?
shit.
It's
Are we
like
gonna walk all
Cutpurse
the way over
Corner.
there?
You walk in, he has a trench coat on, he opens it up, it's filled with grappling hooks. You're like, I didn't know I needed a grappling hook, and you grab one, because apparently you did. He closes the trench coat, he opens it back open again, and guess what? There are lockpicks in there now. I don't know how he does it, he just does. Let's go.
Sounds like a pretty useful guy in this situation.
It's the name of the
Sounds
shop,
like a
Rosie.
magical item.
He's got
Okay.
a refreshable shop.
Very well. Are we still on the Dark Cloaks bandwagon?
I think dark cloaks
Yeah.
are gonna be the best option if we can't find anything invisible. Just because at night, at the stroke of midnight, I think black's gonna be your best sort of camouflage option.
At night. Do you reckon they're all going to be coming with black cloaks, or should we just rock up as normal because they're expecting us to be there anyway?
Just to clarify, as you leave the watch house, what are you wearing? Your uniforms or your civvies?
I didn't put my
Civilian.
uniform back on.
Civvies.
I'm wearing civvies.
Millions.
Oh no.
Shouldn't be driving this car.
Oh no. Hold on, I need to check what I'm wearing.
Oh no. Are you wearing
Classic.
Do we need to go and find Hadrix some cool guy clothes?
I cling clang all over the place.
You got yourself some armor?
I got myself some chainmail, which has disadvantage to stealth.
Oh Jesus.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
All right.
Clink clink.
So I do think this idea was put forward as well. Instead of you guys being sneaky and subtle about watching the meeting, instead we all come together as a group of people that wish to see Roland's Landing taken down. Because I do think that's kind of Father Bruno's whole shtick here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you spoke to the guy. Is that what he's concerned about? Like, if a dwarf and a human and the whole menagerie turned up, but we just claimed that we wanted the humans gone, like, is he going to be welcome?
No, the issue isn't the humans. I think it's just the people that have popularized Roland's Landing and taking the ownership away from the gnomes. That's the gnomish stand on this. Obviously,
Right.
the Fusillan side of this wants to just see Roland's Landing overthrown. I don't think there's anything specific against humans. Obviously, humans are just the main aggressors in this situation, but dwarves and orcs are not particularly favored here because they just took advantage of an opportunity, and so
We're
they're
just as bad
like,
as the humans.
So what? Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, suppose we all came under the guise of being insurrectionists and
Yeah.
wanting to overthrow the human governance, then Father Bruno would be fine with that, right? So
I
then we
think
wouldn't
he-
need to go undercover.
I think if we all managed to properly persuade him into thinking that we were doing it to reclaim the city for gnomes and to overthrow the human rule, we would have a pretty good chance of it working. And if not, we would get
Alright.
stabbed.
I stride out of the door and head towards the location.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
let's do
location
that.
would that be, class?
That would be the meeting spot.
The big red circle on the map.
It is midday, class. So we're heading for all the meetings.
12 hours.
I quickly run back inside.
Sure.
And I go and do a little rifle for all the amulets I can find of the Hammer of Dark Earth sect.
Sure.
Good
So
call.
you have two then. One was Michelle's. The other was from the gnome that was killed. So you have those two. You also have one that is just a regular Dark Earth amulet, similar to the ones that you saw many of the patrons of the church wearing.
Is the regular one gold in any way?
No, it's like a cast iron looking very cheaply made.
Do we want to see if we can go find a gold one? Or 2 gold ones? Or
Where are
not
we gonna
worried
get
about
2
it?
gold ones from?
I mean, we tried looking at
We
a
were-
jewelers.
Maybe
We
they'll
did-
upgrade ours if we just give them our shitty ones. Can we have the premium pass one, please?
You dip it in
I mean,
gold,
we could go.
please.
We could go and ask.
It's
I
like when
want
you
one of
level
the
up your
good ones.
EB Games card.
Yeah.
So what's the plan,
I
guys?
want
You guys
one
are leaving the
free
watch house
pass.
and heading where?
To the pub. And wait for this whole thing to blow over.
Right.
Or at least for
Um,
it to get dark.
Doing any shopping?
Okay.
No?
I'm heading shopping to go and buy black cloaks
Alright,
for
Gabriel's
everyone.
shopping.
So I'm doing that. Rosie is going to
Uh,
go see her friend in Dirt Town and look for potential grappling hooks, right?
You know what? Yeah. Although I may just come with you because I suspect wherever you're getting black cloaks from, I could probably get my supplies from too.
Right, and I
Probably
could
sells
use
like
you
clothes,
for
sell-shaped
navigating
things.
Dirt Town. The other 2 of you guys are waiting at the pub until it all blows over.
I
Yeah.
will come with you, Chris.
Uh-huh.
Who's Chris?
Gabriel.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Oh!
Klaus, would you like to come, or would you like to stay and see if you run into, what's the name? Corporal
Corporal
Arnold or
Arnold.
something?
Yeah, I think I will go to the tavern.
Yeah.
And I'll meet you there as our rendezvous before we head off for the dark. So,
Yep.
come meet me back at the tavern, and if I run into Corporal Arnold, then I run into it. If not, I'll be having a cheeky pint waiting for you guys and waiting for
Okay,
the sun to set.
sounds good. That's what we're doing.
All right. So you guys split up, heading to the bar and a stall or a shop of some description. Rosie, are you leading Gabriel to your known shop, or just finding the first shop that looks like it sells the kind of thing you're after?
I think we should head to my known shop because they not only supply just a great range of clothes. Fantastic.
But they're having a 50% sale this
Well,
weekend
it's-
only.
It's buy 3, get the 4th for free.
That's not bad, actually. That's pretty
That's
good.
a pretty good deal. Just
Yeah,
imagine
that
finding
is a
that
very
into the
good
story.
deal.
Yeah,
Isn't,
and there's
isn't
4 of
that
us.
right, Kai?
I see the big red sign out the front
Yeah.
that says buy 3 cloaks, get 1 for free.
It's canon now.
Nice.
It's
It also says 50% off new customers.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys find yourself ducking into a fairly shabby looking shop, but given the nature of the items you're trying to purchase, probably not particularly surprising, called the Glinting Dagger, written in fairly boring script above the door. Doesn't really stand out, but that's sort of the idea, I suppose. As you walk in, there's no ding of the bell. The hinges open silently, and you step into a very, very dark room as curtains drawn across the windows. And
Right, well, I'm blind, so.
sitting behind sitting behind the desk is a halfling man. He leans forward on the counter. Welcome to my humble store, friends. Looking for anything in particular, or just browsing?
4 black cloaks, if you please. Some of the more inconspicuous. We don't care much for costs.
Certainly, some of the simple black cloaks. That's all. That's all you're after.
Simple, unassuming, inconspicuous. That's what we want.
Very, very popular item. All the same size?
Well,
We
3 medium-sized and Rosie, 1 small.
hang on. I'm just wondering if Klaus would be a medium size or if he would be more on the small size.
He's medium sized.
Yeah.
Medium size. Well, then surely Gabriel would need one slightly larger since we're smaller than him.
One slim and tall, one short and stout, one medium, and then one small sized for the gnome.
Yes.
Of course, I shall fetch those at once. Please feel free to peruse my wares if there's anything else that you wish.
Thank you.
Hey, Kai, just a game question. Are you ruling that anything in the player's handbook is available for purchase, or?
I mean, in the city as a whole, you would be able to find almost anything.
Okay.
Probably not like, I don't know, the Eye of a Fallen God or something, but you never know.
No. There's just a particular item that I'd like to roleplay me falling over to then buy.
Sure,
Okay.
send it to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. And then
Are you with Rosie and Gabriel? Sorry,
Yes.
I missed that. You are.
Yeah. Nope.
Having a look around while the man is out back,
Oh.
you see that the building is full of all sorts of tools and equipment that could certainly have their more nefarious needs. Sets of lockpicks, easily concealable weapons, crowbars, things of that nature. Certainly things that a law-abiding citizen has no reason not to need, but there seems to be a theme in the shop.
How about this is a stretch, but how about some like chemicals to douse arrows in? Ones that are perhaps toxic or designed to tranquilize?
You see behind the counter there is a shelf with a few odd vials. None of them appear to be labelled though, so at a glance you can't be too sure what they are.
Alright. I'll ask him when he gets back.
I've just seen. I kind of look up and I see something on the wall, and it's about yay big. I don't have anything to indicate it, but it looks like a little whistle of a sort. I've just noticed that it is possible to buy a signal whistle, and I'm just. Is the shopkeep still around, or is he?
Yeah, he's heading back now with the cloaks. He places them on the counter. Says, "You're in luck. We have a buy 3 get 1 free offer today."
Hell yeah!
That'll be
we saw the sign.
1 gold for the lot.
Pardon me, sorry, how much?
1 gold. Hang on, I think I can get this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Thank you, Rosie.
Oh, good. Absolutely, sir. And I plunk a gold coin down on the counter.
Much obliged. Anything else caught your eye, friends?
Just because I cannot find it in the book. How do your signal whistles work, good sir?
Well, it is fairly simple. You put the end in your mouth and blow, and it makes quite a loud whistling noise. It's a good way to gain attention if, for some reason, you wish it.
Hear me out, Gabriel. Hear me out, Hadrian. We get 4 whistles.
Okay.
I
suppose it couldn't hurt, but when would we need one?
Vuvuzela gang, let's go.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. As this fine gentleman has just mentioned, the fact when you blow it, it creates a loud, piercing whistle sound. And I can barely create illusion magic. So, theoretically, if I'd had a whistle that I could, like,
Distress, okay.
we could possibly use it to call others to our location when we do, in fact, need to call for backup.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
What you put down, I quite like that.
Okay, we'll get 4 of those signal whistles.
Of course.
Yep.
No problem at all.
Pardon me, good sir, those vials of liquid behind you, might you explain what they're for?
Well, I have a lovely variety of medicines. But, of course, as you know, medicine is all about dosage. The quantity of these vials could be quite lethal if used incorrectly, so I must warn against that, of course, strictly.
And the administering of these medicines can be different than orally?
Oh, well, certainly you wouldn't want to drink too much, but direct contact or entry into the bloodstream would also be a unfortunate thing to happen, so do be careful.
Very well. How much for that green one?
Fine choice. For this vial here, 50 gold.
50? And that other blue one?
The blue one there? Much lower concentration, but I'd still urge caution. 26 gold for that one.
26 gold. And if I am being careful with this medicine, might I expect that the side effects would be enough to knock me flat?
Well, incorrectly administered, you would be very ill for quite some time.
I turn to Rosie. Hey, Rose, I hate to do this. Can you sub me 6 gold?
Yeah. I would very much like to see some people vomit.
Of course, yes. I shall be sure to be very careful after the purchase of such medicine.
Certainly. He places the bottle in front of you and takes your 26 gold.
Thank you, Rosie.
Be careful if the dosage in here is enough to very badly sicken at least 10 grown men, so do be careful with the dosages.
Thank you for the advice.
Advice?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And the whistles, my lady, that'll be 2 silver for the 4 of them.
So 2 coppers equal 1 silver? Oh, hang on.
No, 10 copper equal 1 silver.
Kye, I sent you a message.
God, the one thing I don't have open.
Sorry, I didn't know where you wanted me to send the message to.
Okay.
Just a simple yes or no. That's
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
all right. Cool. All right. So Hadrig's sort of looking around, and he's sort of seeing you guys grab things and being like, "Ooh, I'm really interested." And Hadrig's just like, I just don't. None of this fits my vibe. And I turn to you guys and I'm like, guys, I'm gonna wait outside. All right, that's what I'm gonna do.
Very well. Be careful.
I turn around and I trip over a long bit of wood, like a long log that has handles in it. What is this? What have I tripped over, sir? What am I?
Apologies. I didn't believe I left that out. It's a ram, my good friend. Great for if you forgot your keys. Gaining entry back into your house.
My face lights up. And Rosie and Gabriel, we're gonna need one of these.
That is fantastic. I love that.
To be fair, the second you said you tripped over a long bit of wood with handles, I was like, this guy found the
Yeah, here
ram
we go.
in the section.
Police ram.
So I would like to buy this, sir.
Of course. For the inconvenience of it tripping you, my good sir, 4 gold.
No problems at all. Here is the 4
bargain.
gold, my friend.
Pleasure. I must offer this with a disclaimer. Often, you will need to replace your lock after using this, but if you forgot your keys, that was probably a necessity anyway.
I can trust you this will not be a problem at all.
This guy's great, by the way.
Yes.
Legitimate businessman.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm all done here. Is there anything else
Wait,
you
what?
want, Rosie?
We work for the guard, but shady dealings are okay if they're at the right price.
It's called saving the government money. I turn to Gabriel and Hadric and is it worth us seeing if we can find more hammer of dark earth amulets or leave that.
Well,
and we'll
at
just stick
the-
with the 2 that we've got.
What I'm thinking, we have 3 technically, right? It's just
Yeah,
that
it's just
one's-
one is only a Gelth Darkarth amulet, so it's
yeah.
not necessarily for the sect that we're investigating.
I was wondering if perhaps, since I can speak Fusillan, I might not necessarily need to pose as a member of the church. I could rather be, shady in other ways. But if you want to seek another amulet so that we have at least 4, then so be it.
I'm just wondering if we think it would be worth it.
It might not hurt if we've got time.
Let's ask
Okay.
Shady Guy.
Yeah, like I turned back to him. I'm like, I produced the amulet I have, and good sir, would you perchance know where we could procure another one of these?
Just to be clear, is this the one with or without the hammer?
With the hammer.
With the hammer. As you present it, his sort of affable demeanor, his smile kind of freezes on his face almost. He says, "My lady, I run a perfectly legal shop here and have no dealings with the sort of underground elements."
I'm just gonna all good. First things first, not with them, just being sneaky. Second order of business, I got you, fam. You're cool. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're all good. We just need to know where we might be able to procure another one, whether it's with you, whether it's with somebody else. No snitches are about here today.
I'm afraid I wouldn't know. I have no interest in religious iconography, and certainly not of any extremist cells. Now, if you'll excuse me, it is getting late. I must close the shop.
You know I'm gonna do an insight check on that.
This guy's having a panic attack. He's just sold us all of these weapons and instruments, and then we're like, by the way, we're part of an extremist cult.
Oh shit!
Bro, he's sweating worse than getting a bucket of water dumped.
Yeah.
He's just
That gif of Key and Peel.
I found porn on
I
your
love
computer.
Making an insight roll, are you, Rosie?
Yes, I would like to see if he's lying just to get rid of us now. Oh lord.
Natural one.
Technically a 7, but it was a natural 1.
You have no idea whether he knows any more or less than he's letting on, but he definitely seems like he doesn't want to be doing any more business with the group of you.
Alright, let's go.
It's so strange that a shop closes at noon.
Weird.
Odd.
Rosie, I believe I might know someone who may be able to help us.
Then lead the way, good sir.
No worries. Kai, I would like to go visit our good friend Fernando.
Oh, Fernando.
You're gonna make me do the fucking lisp again.
Yeah, I sure fucking am.
It's not Reese that's making you do it, Kai. It's you.
Yeah.
Sure. You guys leave the glinting dagger, and not 2 seconds after the door closes behind you, you hear it snap locked.
Yep, fair enough.
He must really need to go home. That's...
Yeah. It's got a lunch
just
date.
while we're walking, I'll ask my party members something. When we originally went to go see Fernando, we had an amulet with us.
Yes, that is correct.
It didn't have the hammer on it, did it? It was just
No.
a gold Gelth Darkarth
In
amulet.
fact, Rosie, I can show you, and I pull it out of my pouch. Here's the amulet we're talking about.
It is in
Yeah.
fact a Segajan Earthcaller amulet, not a
Okay.
Gelf Darkarth amulet.
No, we found the Gelth Darkarth amulet in the police station.
Oh yeah, that's the
That's the one that we returned to the gnome, though, isn't it?
that's not the one that you spoke to Fernando about previously.
Okay, yeah. So this is the one that we left at the police station originally, and Hadric picked it up because he felt it was important.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. So I just wanted, the one that you went and saw Fernando about previously was the Segajan Earthcaller amulet that was cast in gold, which you said was odd,
Yeah.
and suggested that it may have been manufactured in Fasilla. That's the only amulet you guys have shown, Fernando, but you do now have the Darkhearth's Hammer amulets and the Gelf Darkhearth amulet.
Yeah.
But the Gelf Darkhearth amulet we have is the one that we found in the station.
Yes, the cheap,
Correct.
sort of cast iron looking one.
Yep. All good. And we continue on.
Alright.
Well, let's pick up Klaus on the way through.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's if he wants to come. He might be enjoying his beer.
Yeah.
Very true, yeah.
Class, you have
Always
been at
enjoying a beer.
you've been at Drinking Dicks for about 45 minutes.
That's the name of the place.
It's fairly quiet. Chuli is behind the bar and was happy to engage you in a little conversation, but he did tell you that he hasn't seen the corporal today. She's not a regular unless she's coming in with a group. But the rest of it is pretty quiet. There's a few officers who've obviously just gotten off of a shift, having a pint or two. But being the middle of the day, it's not crazy busy.
Yep.
Hey, Klaus.
We got you a present! And I hand him
Oh.
the small cloak.
You just
Good
pitch
for you
it
guys.
Just,
Just so you know, Klaus, we're headed off to see our good friend, and I look around to make sure no one's listening, and I lean in. Fernando, if you wish to attend, then by all means, but otherwise I can see you're enjoying your beer, no problem.
That's alright. I'm finished anyway, and I down the rest of my drink and I head out. There's not a lot happening here anyway.
No luck with the corporal then.
Ah, I didn't really expect to see her anyway, but I mean, it beats shopping. Having a bit cold beer.
Very true.
did you use this as an excuse to have a beer on a work shift?
He was
I'm
on
undercover,
stakeout,
man.
right?
I mean, look, to be
Yeah.
fair, I'm annoyed that I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
You guys were off shopping and I'm here drinking beer. Sounds like you guys are the suckers, not me.
Hey man, I got this big
Alright.
stick.
Will,
Julie
get
gives
off your big dwarf donkey ass. Let's go.
Alright. Chuli gives the four of you a wave as you leave.
Julie.
Bye, Julie.
Hi,
Bye,
bye, Chuli.
And we'll head to the market.
And you
just
guys head across into Hardstone and find your way back to Fernando's Fineries.
That's right, Fernando's Fineries.
Entering, the delicate bell above the door tinkles, and you find Fernando again behind the desk, or behind the workbench, I suppose. Welcome back, friends. Is there more
Hello,
that I can help you with? Good
Hello,
officers.
Fernando. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fabulously, thank you. It's been a slow day, but not always the worst thing.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I turned to Rosie. Hey, Rosie, can you pass me your amulet for a second?
Do you wanna? I just whispered back. Do you wanna show him the basic one first so we don't spook him?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show him both, and then be like, I want this to look like this.
Yeah, but that might spook him.
I look over to Fernando, and then I look
He just
back.
gives you a sort of bemused smile.
I think we're gonna be good.
All right, and I hand him my amulet.
Cool. Hey Fernando. I would
Yes.
like to hire you for your services.
Fabulous. Always looking for new customers. What can I get
Don't
you? A
worry.
lovely ring, or perhaps a bracelet?
Actually, I was wondering if you could add something to one of my amulets that I currently have in my hands.
Ah, a modification.
Yes.
Certainly.
So I hold out the original Gelf Darkhearth amulet, and I'm like, I'm wondering if you could make this amulet look like this amulet, and I hold out the other amulet.
Ah, interesting. He grabs both and starts sort of weighing them up before grabbing like a jeweler's eyepiece and starts looking at them a bit more closely.
As he's
Well,
looking at
it's-
them, I turn to Rosie and I just give her the thumbs up.
And I'm just like,
Well, even with my not inconsiderable skills, I wouldn't be able to make it look exactly the same. The metal he's used in this first amulet, and he holds up the basic one, very poor, very cheap. But this one, he holds up the second, it's quite well crafted. Nothing incredible, but certainly of a higher grade. I could add this gold symbol here. That's not a problem. Though gold isn't my forte, I tend to work with silver more often, but I can make an
Which I
exception.
did remember, by the way. I did remember he worked with silver, not gold.
Yeah.
I can certainly add this bit of flair for you, but I'm afraid the background, this darker symbol, will remain a poorer grade.
I don't think that's a big deal breaker.
Yeah, it's more of just like at a glance, you know.
Could you maybe shine the iron like just polish it a smidge?
Yeah.
I can sand it back slightly, but I'm afraid I don't want to promise too much.
Whatever
That's
you
what-
can do.
It doesn't need to look perfect. I just need it like in the next few hours.
Ah, a rust job.
Yes.
Well, certainly, as I said, it's been a slow day. I can do this, especially for the watch.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is for the watch. Yes, yes.
I should
Yes,
have...
it is very much for the watch. In fact, when you write out your invoice, send that to the watch.
Yeah, and label the merchandise as indeterminate religious symbol and definitely not extremist cult. Thank you.
You know what? In fact, leave out religious. Just
Yeah. Innocuous.
Amulet. Just amulet. Amulet modification. That's all the invoice needs. Modification of amulet. That's it.
Yeah.
I can...
Also, not destroying evidence. Don't put that on there.
Very important to leave that out.
Right, I can certainly tackle this for you. I'm afraid it will be... we'll need some payment up front. It's not that I don't trust you or anything, but I don't really have a system in place to charge the watch, certainly. I have some standing clients, but it takes a long time to build that sort of relationship, you understand.
Fernando,
I understand.
How much will it cost?
As a friend of the watch, I wish it to be known. I will do a discount for you and charge a mere 5 gold. That barely covers my materials, let alone labor.
Oh, Fernando, you're killing me, but I guess I gotta... Oh. Alright, you drive a hard bargain, my friend, but...
Never
I'll
let it
do
be
it,
said
I'll-
that Fernando doesn't do his part for the city.
Your name will be on a plaque in our building, I tell you that much, and I give you 5 gold.
And I take one of my gold, put it on the counter, slide it into the measly pile that Hadrig has given him, and I go, and that's for you and your labor and your discretion. Thank you.
Understood.
That's kind.
Thank you. Give me, 3-4 hours. As long as you're back before closing, should be good to go.
We will be back before closing.
That sounds
Interesting.
incredibly reasonable, guys. Incredibly reasonable.
That's he's a good guy, Fernando.
Come back, the building's burnt down.
Yeah.
He
Fernando,
took our money and ran!
everyone you
6
speak to dies.
6 gold was all I needed to escape this city.
Finally!
Takes the amulets and runs. Unless there's anything you guys would like to do for the next few hours, we can do a little time jump so that we can.
Yeah, I'm keen for time jumping.
I'm cool with time jump.
Unless you guys want to go on another shopping
I don't
trip.
like time traveling. It spooks me.
You
A
guys
lot of
spend
lights.
the next 4 hours sort of nutting out your plan for this afternoon, trying to go over, some of the possible pitfalls, etc. And you return 4 hours later to Fernando's shop, just before he's getting ready to close up for the day. Welcome back, friends. I think you'll find this is a acceptable job. And he places both amulets on the table in front of you. And as you're sort of crossing the room at a glance, they look pretty much the same. As you get closer, you can tell that one is more finely made than the other. But the first amulet now does have a golden hammer emblazoned on the front, same sort of dimensions as the first. You can see that I tried to polish up this metal at the back, but it is very, very poor quality. It's not much left to give in that material. I hope you'll forgive me, but I did not stamp it with my seal. I wouldn't want my name associated with such poor craftsmanship.
That's perfectly fine. In fact, I don't want you to have your name on this.
I feel
don't-
far more comfortable for you to not be
Yeah.
associated with this
Yeah.
whatsoever.
I wouldn't want people to come to you knowing that you made this. So that's perfectly.
Well, thank you so much for that, Fernando. It looks pretty much
Certainly,
identical.
certainly.
You've done an excellent job.
If there's...
It's perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Oh, you flatter me. If there's anything else I can do to help the watch, please remember where I am.
Oh, we will.
Of course.
We will.
Good day.
And then we take the amulets and we leave.
All right. Nicely
Well,
done.
Rosie, you take the good one.
Thank you.
Gabriel,
Uh-huh.
since you're the facilitator of the group, and you have the most reason to want to destroy our city.
That's one way of putting it. This is in persona,
Nice.
right? You're not accusing me like
No,
Clash.
no, no.
Nice.
Class, put away the board. We're not.
Wow, I
I
think it's
think-
you who needs to put away the board, my friends.
I think you should have this one. As I think you and Rosie will probably be doing most of the talk.
Very well.
I know you don't like it, but
Oh,
you do speak facility.
I'm impartial to it. I'm just sort of a little nervous. That's all.
It's alright. I got your back, man. Look at my big stick.
Okay, and whilst Rosie and I are inquisiting at the definitely not dangerous cult, you and Klaus will be...
I'm pretty sure that's what they said their name was. Definitely not dangerous cult.
Yeah,
it.
that's what it said on the map.
The
at the bottom.
DND cult. Definitely not
Not
dangerous.
dangerous.
like
We
a-
will be close by. We'll be close by. Remember, we have our special signal whistles. So if anything
Oh, yeah,
goes down,
yes. And
just
the door opening apparatus for when you lose your keys.
yes. Hey, impulse buy. I bet you're gonna wish I bought it.
It'd certainly be
did buy
exciting
it.
to see.
It'll save the day. Alright, so you
All right.
guys begin moving
What's the plan?
away from Hardstone back towards Illabar as the city begins to settle into its early evening phase and prepare for your infiltration / assault ? On this suspicious meeting. And that is where we will leave us for tonight.
Ooh. Yeah, exciting
Getting good.
stuff.
I just want to say, I think that was probably one of my favorite sessions we've done so far.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that session. That was really good.
that was a fun one. That was quite enjoyable. But that's mostly because I'm a connoisseur of the old role playing, and combat is certainly fun. But you know,
I'm
What,
just glad I finally got to go on my own solo adventure.
that you did.
I also get on my own solo adventure, drinking beers.
yeah.
I
And
can't believe we didn't
sticks.
sense motive on you after that.
There is no
That's
sense
good.
motive, my friend.
Good.
Wow. How are we all feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. Is Kai?
I'm
Did Kai die? Is Kai
I think
still?
Kai
Kai's
died.
Oh no.
The stream has like died.
Oh, the
And-
stream died?
Well, I don't know. It's like frozen.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, we're still good.
Kai, can you hear us?
Oh, we're
Oh
offline.
no. Oh god. Kai died.
Oh no.
What a
Oh,
perfect
no.
place to die.
Well, of all the places to die, that would have been it. But Kai!
Oh, God.
Kai.
I bet he lost power.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right. Let's see how we
Classic.
can. Let's see how we can save this. I don't know, man.
Oh no.
We've gone offline on Twitch, right?
Oh
Yeah,
god.
there he
Oh
goes. He's just
no.
dropped.
Kai.
Hold on. Do you want me to stream from
He's
mine?
talking.
I'm just
My
quickly
internet
turning on
just died.
OBS now.
Oh no. Although, what a time for that to happen, right as we end.
Yeah.
Good timing, I guess.
Maybe he just got sick of it. He's like, and that's where we'll leave it off.
Yeah,
okay,
and
so
that-
end
and that's
stream.
it.
Off I
It's
go.
like, we're done.
Couldn't he had it? He was holding it in.
All right, this guy's is gonna be super ratchet, but
Have you got it back?
I'm just loading it up now.
Because I'm.
Two done. Like I said, super ratchet.
It's fine. I can click go live now.
I can also click go live now.
Okay,
Do it.
well you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my OBS is not picking up my camera.
Yeah.
Alright. Go.
We should be back.
Hello?
It was a quick save. Don't
What
worry
a
about
save.
it.
Very,
Oh.
very
Just attempting
sorry.
to move my camera, and it is not working.
Oh god.
That's fine. So, yes. Kai's internet has just totally died. Kai, feel free to jump back in. You should be able to. I reckon you could probably just jump back into the Discord. I've just moved myself so I'm in the spot where I was.
Have fun editing this one, Kai.
Oh god.
Ah!
This is gonna be
Yeah.
a nightmare. Poor Kai.
Poor Kai. I was just doing a quick scan of what's next
What
to
a
us to see
good
if there
meme.
was anything that should not be in there, but I think we're all good. So yeah, Kai's internet died, but we quickly jumped back in. So if you're still here, thank you very much for continuing to join us. We yeah. Luckily for everyone involved, we all still appear to be recording, which would possibly include Kai, but I suspect you would just hear him go, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's. I guess it's just his internet. Yeah. It's just-
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just his
internet
internet
died.
that's died.
It was just awkward because I was talking and then we're all just waiting for Kai to jump.
Yeah,
in.
wait for Kai to chime
Yeah.
in.
That was a good session. Oh,
Hey, he's back, he's back.
Oh.
Is he alive?
Kai?
Are you there?
Yeah,
Yay!
yeah, we're here.
The question is, are you here?
I have no
You good,
idea
bro?
what happened. I don't know if
He's
it
dead,
says it's reconnecting. I don't know if it's actually going to reconnect. or
He's
not.
dead.
Oh, he's dead.
Oh, the curse.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Wait, are you there?
Oh, yeah,
There we go.
you
We can
there?
hear you. We can hear
You
you.
there?
Are you there? Hello?
My internet is something has gone horribly wrong. I don't know. It's cutting out and coming back.
All good.
Kai, can you hear me? Where are you? I'm in a place where I don't know where I am.
I mean, at least it was the end of the stream, but at the same time,
Yeah.
everyone's just going to think that I was like, stream over.
Yeah, like, I'm done now. Goodbye.
Look, that did cross our mind. We were like, oh, I can't believe we did that badly.
Because
Can't believe he
we're
hates
just
us as much.
we're just sitting here talking about how well the stream was, and then like we were waiting for you to cut in, and it was just like awkward silence, and I'm like, did he die?
He didn't like us enough.
Yeah.
Nah, it was a
Yeah.
fantastic stream. Awesome stream.
Yes,
you
it
so
was.
much.
It was a very.
Should
good
I
stream.
try and push us live again to say goodbye or?
We are actually already live. I quickly opened
Yeah.
OBS.
Yeah.
Are we actually?
Beck's
Because
got it covered,
my
yeah.
Streamlabs doesn't say we're live.
Yeah,
Sure,
no.
you're Yeah, so
Not
I
on your
opened
end.
OBS on my computer. I'm sharing the display
Oh.
with Discord, and
Yeah.
we are. I mean,
Oh, big
chat.
brain.
Big
Throw,
brain plays.
throw an emoji in chat if you can see us live right now.
Hello.
I apologize everybody because it was not my intention to just bail on you. Literally, it was like the moment I was like, cool, let's go back to the chat screen.
Yeah.
My whole house internet just died completely.
I am now massively popped by the fact that Kai jumped back into the Discord, not realizing that we were live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy howdy, good thing I wasn't like, man, what a crap session, eh?
Oh,
No, it wasn't.
God.
It was an awesome session, guy. Hang on, let me get my video. It's me. Oh, look at my sick hacker background.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Oh, look at that.
I gotta move myself again.
Hacker man.
What
Hacker
a.
What a
Sorry,
way-
guys. That was we had technical difficulties to start with, and we all laughed at Lachlan. And then I had technical difficulties, So now you're all allowed to laugh at me.
Yeah, we did.
Excellent.
Look
My
at that
favorite way
guy.
to end a stream.
Yeah.
It's a good way to like start it and end it.
I mean, call it interesting. That's exactly what it is.
It's-
It's an interesting way to end the stream.
It adds texture to the stream.
It's a
you know?
curveball. It's a bit of
Yeah.
realism.
Also, just quickly,
I can
Yes.
only hear Beck. Oh no.
Just really?
you know what?
Di?
We're all
What is happening?
talking.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
That
Oh,
should
no.
probably do it.
Hello.
Oh no, what is happening?
What a mess.
This is the show.
What a
Abs-
mess.
Guys, I would just like to let you all know we are professional streamers.
Hey, look,
Something like that.
and you're back.
We have all of this recorded, so
Alright.
when this goes up on YouTube, you'll be able to
Yes.
hear everybody, except for
Yeah.
Kai.
Yeah, and I'll have to like stitch together the two like
Yeah, there's separate sessions.
the two streams. It'll just be like, are we back? Are we live? What's going on?
Okay, just clap. Just clap.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
I was going to get you guys to do that at the end of the stream too, so I could use it as another sync point. But it's too late now. I'm going to have to take the hard way. But thank you
Dun, dun,
everybody in chat
dun.
so much for hanging out. I hope you guys had fun. I certainly did. That was a really enjoyable session. Probably more enjoyable for me and Beck because we had more.
Well, no, I was
We had more screen time.
before you rudely left. I was saying this was actually one of my favorite sessions we've done so far. I had so much fun tonight.
Yeah,
it
same.
was really good. So
Do you?
And I don't know about you guys, but for me, a big part of that is chat's been awesome tonight. So thank you for
Yes,
everybody who has
yes.
jumped in and told us your D&D stories and terrible D&D themed puns and general bits and pieces. So thank you all
Everyone-
so much for joining
Everyone
us.
who followed as well, if you subbed as well, like that's all super awesome too.
the follows,
Thank
the
you. We love it
subs,
so
the
much.
bits, all of that stuff. It helps us out greatly as well.
Yep. And just the fact that we know that you guys are enjoying it is huge. You know, I'd be trying to run this D&D session with my friends anyway because it's an idea I've had rattling around for a long time. So the fact that we can do it and you guys enjoy watching and hanging out with us as well is a big deal. It makes me think we're doing something right. So thank you all so much for spending the time. And thank you to you guys for being an awesome party. The best party a guy could ask for.
That's us.
I love all your interactions and bits and bobs. It's all a lot of fun.
Next campaign,
Yeah.
Nerds of the West presents Dungeons and Disconnect.
The end boss is a dodgy router.
I'll just slay the modem, the dial-up modem.
It's the old ass like ADSL router you've got sitting in the
Yeah.
cupboard.
You're too scared to throw it away because you might need it, but you never use it.
It's
In the
classic.
case of emergency.
My home internet's pretty reliable. I very, very rarely have issues. Of course, it's like
Yeah.
Well,
end
it's
of the
usually
stream, but-
blackouts with you. Usually it's
It
just
is,
like,
yeah.
the power's gone out, right?
My power was more
That's
sus
exactly
than my
what,
internet.
That's
yeah.
exactly what Reese was saying. He was like, I bet you the power went out. I bet
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, we had that huge storm roll through. I say huge. It was a decent storm roll through, and I had no issues, no power
Again,
issues, no internet issues.
Saved an
business
hour
as usual.
flying out of Perth, gained an hour flying back in. It was a pretty big storm.
Yeah, it was pretty windy. We got like 100 or I don't know, 80 kilometer an hour winds, something like that.
Yeah.
And everything
Minor.
was fine. And now on a still, quiet, dry night,
Yeah.
my internet's like peace.
Oh no. But yeah, no. Look, thank you everyone. Tonight was a lot of fun. Even not playing, just chatting was also a lot of fun. So.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I like. I do feel bad when it's just like a singular person doing stuff. Because it was finally my turn. I was like, oh no, nobody's getting a chance to play. That's not fair. I need to
Aw.
involve people.
No, it's fine because it's like it adds to it, and it like really. It doesn't happen often that people have like secret things, and I think like Reese said, it's like splitting the party needs to die. Like splitting a party is something that is like good for people to have their own information so that when they come back to the party, they can explain it to the party from their character's perspective, as opposed to everyone just getting all the information at once
Yeah,
from
I
the DM
agree.
at the same time. So it becomes...
I do appreciate that aspect of it because, I mean, when Gabriel did it, I was a big fan of it because obviously it was like, is he lying? Or is he just summarizing? Just summary, the abridged version of everything that's happened.
Yeah.
So
I just like the role-playing moments that it affords, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like, none of us are professional actors, so when, like, it comes out that Hadrick's been working for the Shadow Government the whole time, you know, if the guys know that in advance, they can go, oh, you're what? But if they actually don't know, then you're like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, it'd be like a
Guys,
genuine
yeah.
reaction.
You
Yeah.
swore
Yeah.
you would never tell.
you said
also
this
gives-
was our secret.
It also gives like the characters time to have a one-on-one with the DM or the character like NPCs without the party being there for it to be like, and what do you guys think? And what do you guys think? It's like,
Hang
you have
on,
a
I
more
must
direct
ask this
conversation.
relevant question that's been answered 20 times already.
Yeah,
Exactly.
precisely.
For example,
like anything,
who
there's a line,
is
there's a border.
Father Kieran?
Who is Father Kieran?
Is
Bro,
Father
that could be
Kieran.
the thing, right?
When
So
Father Kieran.
Who was Father Kieran is the better question.
Rosie
He's dead.
could
He's dead.
totally be leading us into a trap, and only you at home know, right? Like that's the drama.
It's always
Don't-
good when you have
Privileged
like
audience.
a little bit of drama between the crew. I think we said this before, where like you play a campaign and everyone's just always on the same wavelength. They all like immaterially know things that someone else learned 5 towns away, and that can quite often become stale. So you want that kind of like drama and intrigue between the players, despite them working together. You know, some of them don't trust one another, and some of them are keeping secrets and things. I think that's interesting.
I think it definitely adds a good dynamic to it as well, because instead of it being like, it's all of a sudden like, fuck you, fuck me, fuck yours.
That's one way of putting it, I suppose.
Because that's
It's like
essentially.
the first time watching like Guardians of the Galaxy. They're just like, yeah, we all hate each other, but we're a party, and it's like that's some D&D logic if I ever heard some. We all meet in the tavern, and now
Yep.
you're just best friends. It's
Yeah.
like I don't know if that's true. That's not how this should play out. Like everyone needs to warm up to each other and or have some sort of like player deciding moment.
Yeah, I agree.
I honestly don't know if we've hit ours yet. Like, as much as my rousing speech last time we streamed was very inspirational.
Yeah. There's definitely still some mistrust amongst
Yeah,
the party.
it was the teacher yelling at the class to be quiet and just do their homework. So it's like they're gonna be the people in the class that are still like, oh, I'm not gonna do my homework. I'm gonna doodle.
Yeah.
I have a
That's
Like,
very,
right now, I
I have a
Sorry,
very
guys.
strong feeling that our moment of total synergy will be at the end of the next session. I feel like we're about to have like an intense session, like when everything fucking goes down, and then provided no one backstabs us, Rosie,
Yeah.
Gabriel, Klaus,
it's a make or break
We
moment
never do
coming up.
that.
I think we need like a life-threatening situation, so then that way it's like, oh, you saved my life. Now,
Yeah,
I
like
can
something out of a
trust you forever.
movie.
The
Yeah.
issue I have with that sentiment, though, is we did have that. It's just, unfortunately, we preceded that with Chris speaking another language. And then
That's-
you were like, you spoke another language. So even though you saved my life, that means nothing in this scenario.
but-
and I still think you're a dirty gun.
But now
you
we're
know
not
what?
going to be
You
caught
can
off
have-
guard.
Always
gonna
on
lie.
guard.
Trust no one, not
People-
even yourself.
Yeah.
You could save someone's life, and then immediately like turns out they're a bad guy. Like, what is that movie?
It's like you save
where
somebody's
it's like
life.
that sudden realization that they're like the bad guy.
It's like you save
Oh,
somebody's
movie.
Oh,
life.
I Am Legend.
I
Where-
imagine it's like, oh, you
Where
saved my life, and then it's just like, oh wait, you're such and such.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Or you
he
save
hunted
somebody's
vampires,
life.
and he ended up being the legend of the vampires.
Oh.
That's, yeah.
Yes. I don't know if I believe, I'm not sure if I'm at a point where I believe that one of your characters would, like, die to save another. But we're working our way there.
Yeah.
I would definitely flip a coin.
How
Best I can
generous.
do. Would I dive in front of an arrow for you?
I feel like the way
Heads or tails?
the way that we're at the moment, I feel it's very much we've saved each other's lives. But it turns out someone has a bounty on the other person, and they only saved the person to collect the bounty. That's where we're at. That's the vibe we've got going. We're only keeping each other alive to keep some skin in the game, you know?
Curtis Cypher, thank you very
That's
much
way open.
for the follow. I think my lights are broke when everything else did.
Yeah,
So sorry
I think,
about
I
that.
think everything's broken.
But if you've been hanging around this whole session, hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you catch us next time. We are aiming for next Friday.
And for anyone who's new in chat, this is not how we normally stream. We had to quickly ratchet this together because Kai's internet
Because
died.
my stream broke.
Yep.
So we are on the duct tape and like bubblegum fix right now. It's usually a lot more clean than this. There's all these pretty graphics and things.
Is,
Dungeons and disconnects.
is it any
D&D.
different to anything else we do? Like,
I mean, look.
honestly.
At this point, we're just a chaos stream. We should
Hang
just
on.
call ourselves
Just-
that and just write it out, and then just succumb to Tom's wishes of us becoming just random.
Yeah, bro,
bullshit.
this is
Yeah.
the chaos Tom wanted. Tom, aren't you
This
happy
is-
now?
Hey,
Wish
remember
it
that time,
upon us.
Remember that time that Tom showed up at your house unannounced? I might go check the garage. Tom may have unplugged my router.
Tom's just sitting there with like some wire cutters being like,
Yeah, the real saboteur.
Improvise, suckers.
It is currently Schrodinger's study. Tom is both there and not there all at the same time. Until you guys walk into my house and either see him or don't see him there.
Yeah.
just Tom kicking the door, wild card, baby, and then run away.
Turns out
have to
I'm
always be
the
prepared.
final boss. Defeat me!
Dun, dun, dun.
Woohoo!
He already surprised you once as Chuli. Who knows what could happen
Yeah,
next?
truly the router killer.
Tips to the man. Looks like you got playing some D&D for Starlight, which is awesome. Managed to raise $1,400 for raffling off a set of
Oh,
Drizzt replica
is it-
swords. I don't know if I know what.
So Drizzt Stewardon is like the main character of the novels, the D&D novels. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool.
That's wicked.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, hey, look, if you miss a session, it's no biggie. They all end up on YouTube. So we'd love to have you here live and hanging out and be in a vibe. But do head over to youtube.com/nerds of the west if you want to catch up on the previous whatever number it is. 7?
Yeah.
Eight.
Like
This
that.
is episode 8.
This is 8. There's 6 on YouTube right now. 7 will be up soon, and then this one, 8, will also be up soon so that you can binge it. Grab the popcorn and get up to date. And because you guys get to see all the sus things going on, you get to know what's going on with Gabriel. And what happened with Rosie today.
That's
And
right.
I would also like to point out, again, I would like to think that Lachlan, Reese, and myself haven't gone back to view Gabriel's excursion. So we actually have no idea what he did.
No, not at all.
True.
I
Streams
really
too long
wanna
for me
know.
to go back and be like, oh, time to watch.
Yeah,
We'll wait
right.
When
until
the
the,
ca-
we'll wait
when the
till
campaign is
is
over.
over. Like half the party
While
is dead.
it's- Yeah.
Yeah.
While it's
I'm-
it's been like more than 8 weeks since Gabriel's escapades, it has only been a handful of days in D&D.
in D&D, yeah.
So it's
That's
like
always
it
the
was
way.
so long ago, like 3 nights ago, that he
Yeah, it
went
was
on
like
an
3 or 4
adventure by
days.
himself.
Yeah, it's like when Kai was like, it's not even been a week, or like, oh, it's your first week. I'm like, oh god,
Oh god, it's been a tough week.
we've been playing for more than 2 months, and
So it's one of those work weeks where you get to Wednesday and you're like, it feels like it's been 3 weeks to get to this point. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have
Yeah.
2 days of this.
It is the longest work week in existence.
You haven't even had a day off yet.
That's true. That's true.
Who knows when that'll
had
be?
Some good old R&R. We haven't had a long rest in days.
We haven't.
What do you mean?
And
You
I
had a long
spent-
rest last night.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is it a long rest if you have to wake up early the next morning to go to work?
Yeah, good point.
The semantics of long rest.
Do any of us technically sleep through the week, or do we only sleep on Friday and Saturday nights? I'm not a philosopher or a sleep doctor.
Alrighty. Well, I've now got creator dashboard open. Should we find somebody to raid?
Yeah,
Yes.
well, if you want to look for
Let's
someone
do
to
it.
raid, I can run through the schedule.
I would love for
Yes,
you to do that,
please
Reese,
do. Because
No.
tomorrow we're in our Super 6 studio that's way more professional looking than this
Yeah.
janky.
And our internet can die there too.
Yeah, don't
He's
tempt
the
fate,
curse.
Reese.
Reese, why have you done this?
I'm sorry. I've jinxed it, so it's gonna happen now.
So tomorrow,
Yeah, so tomorrow, a bunch of us are in the studio. We are playing a board game called Fight the Blight. It was sent out to us. Very keen. It's a zombie take that board game, or card game, I should say.
yep.
Very cool, very keen to check it out. It's gonna be good. And then Sunday we're doing nothing. Monday we're doing nothing. Tuesday, Beck is back with her solo stream. Beck, are you still playing Assassin's Creed?
I am still enjoying it so far.
Bacha!
Nice.
So we're playing more
Nice.
Assassin's Creed.
Nice. And then we need to talk about Wednesday, if we're gonna do Stardew next week or not. And then on Thursday, I'm back with my solo stream, where we just do whatever the hell we want now. We just watched movie trailers all last night, which was awesome. I loved it. It was great fun. I am halfway through. I'm like mid playthrough of Resident Evil 2. We may pick that up. I don't know. We'll figure that out. But that's Thursday. And then Friday, provided nobody dies.
You've jinxed it now.
Yep. Someone's gonna get sick. We will be back with more Dungeons and Dragons. So that is our schedule for the next week. So if any of that interests you, feel free, come back, say hello. We'll be here, you know. We also have our Discord, our socials. Go follow.
We've had a bunch of new friends join on the Discord, which is awesome. Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to our little corner of the internet here. You will find many strange memes and
Also,
and
our
rants
saloon
about
just,
board games.
Our saloon just filled with trailers for movies from the 90s. It's relevant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Um,
We've had a great crowd, a great chat this evening. So yeah, thanks guys.
Terpsy is also Aquaman. I'm just saying it.
It's like straight up Momoa mode.
Momoa
Mode.
Medalia.
God damn it.
Steal
So yeah, thank you
the
guys very
one.
much. We'll see you tomorrow for our board game stream. Chris, Reese, and myself, and then also Tom will be there to play a card game in the studio. So I hope you guys can join us at 12 Australian Western Standard Time.
High noon.
See you at high noon.
It's handy.
It's
But it's winter
high
time,
noon.
so you know high noon is a different time. But hey,
Yeah.
Look,
It varies from place to place.
don't mess with the theme.
yeah.
It took
Do you
us.
get it?
It took
We're
us
from the West.
how many years of being nerds of the West with a Western theme to work out that high noon was a thing we should use in like.
In our
Material?
promotions, yeah.
Bro, I
Don't
remember
mess with it
one-
now. It already
Hey,
took
One of
us
the
years.
We're
earliest
cowboys, not
conversations
scholars,
was
okay?
like, nerds of the West, are we gonna go like Western themed? Nah, that's a bit on the nose. Cut to now, it's like,
Actually, if you
Yeah.
cast your memory back even further, I remember when it was, it won't be Nerds of the West. We have that as just a Discord channel that we want to keep to ourselves. We'll think of another name.
Yeah.
How did
wait,
that
wait.
go?
nerds of the West is
Well,
pretty good.
We're very
Oh,
creative.
look at us here.
It'll
We
do.
won. We won this one.
She'll be right. Rough enough for the
You know,
bush.
don't fix what ain't broke. All right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was gonna offer you a choice, but unfortunately, I made myself known in the chat. that I was checking out, so we're gonna go and raid Welshie.
Oh, yeah.
We love Welshie.
For the very simple reason of he is a smaller Perth streamer. Since we've had a lot of Perth love tonight, I think this is a good way to keep going. The other choice was gonna be CGE and possibly Ray out at Gen Con, where she's, I think, walking the floor of Gen Con with chat and stuff. But I think we'll send off to Welshie for that Perth gang love. And there we go. He's playing an Australian simulator. I'm trying to figure out what it is. It's a true Aussie simulator called Dinkum.
Oh, dang, I saw that. It's
Yeah.
like
What?
like if Stardew Valley had a baby with a dingo.
That's amazing. Deacon.
Wait,
Do you mean
so
Stardew
the dingo
Valley
didn't
fed?
steal the baby.
Yeah, fed the dingo
But
the
it-
baby?
Okay, poor analogy. That's my own fault. I shouldn't have gone there.
That's a can
Putting
of
baby and a
worms.
dingo in the same sentence. Look, before we go, thank you everybody once again for joining us. It's been an awesome night. Appreciate all your love, all your support, and just hanging out with us. It makes the night so much more fun. We hope to see you next time.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, good to hang out.
Bye,
guys. See
everybody.
ya.
You've also
See
wrapped it up.
ya.
Excellent. Perfect. Good work, everybody.
Perfect.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Woo! Great success.
Good
Thanks for saving the stream, Beck.
All good. Me and
Good
Reese
save.
were both on it in the same degree. And end stream.